the Hartford Whalers ready for this one. The referee tonight is Dave Jackson. Bob Hodges and Greg Dvorsky work the lines. We are underway from the Fleet Center in Boston. Meeting number 119 between these two longtime NHL rivals, and also geographic proximity involved. Steve Staios in his own zone tries to work it out. And now Staios works it along this way. It's played by Glenn Wesley. You take a peek at the lineups for both hockey clubs as the Whalers go at the Bruins for the first of 6 meetings this season. The Bruins will be in Hartford on November 6th. Andrew Castles on the wing for Jeff Sanderson. A quick shot right on. Ranford ready for that one. The puck cleared out by the Bruins.
Good start by the Whalers, moving the puck very nicely. Andrew Castles cutting across the blue line, throwing it to Sanderson. Jeff Sanderson penetrating the zone. Kevin Dean with a little bit of a pick and a good shot on net. Good quick speed and transition hockey through the neutral zone. That's something they've worked at through training camp, and the first few games did it very well. The last couple of games not so well. This has got to be a team. We talked about the Bruins being a little bit soft as we see Casper talking to his troops. Well, the Whalers the last 3 games have really played a little bit too soft, and they have to play much more aggressive, especially against a team like this. There's a situation this week where I said they had to get 6 points. Well, they've lost one already. This is a big game for them here on the road.
Yeah, they got away with 1 period last night in that 2-2 tie against the Islanders. They outshot the Islanders 18-4 in the 3rd period. The first 2 periods were not pretty. Nolan Pratt in his own zone takes a crunch. Bruins take over from the slot. A quick shot by Jean-Yves Waugh doesn't click. It goes back to the point. Barry Richter, former Whaler draft choice, inside for Joseph Stumple. The corner it goes for rookie Nolan Pratt. He coughed it up to Rick Tocchet. He slides it in front. Back to Barry Richter. His shot blocked on the way through. Loose in the slot as we see, and the Whalers now try to advance out of the zone. It's held in. This way, Rick Tocchet off the wall. Paul Coffey now will take over. He had an assist in last night's tie with the Islanders. The quick home run pass looking for Keith Primo doesn't work, and the Bruins take over. 18:35 left to go in this first period. No score just underway from Boston. Former Bruin Glenn Featherstone backpedaling in his own zone. Works it across for Gerald Diddick. Lead feed for Primo on the attack. The K-train over the line, puts on the brakes, looks around for help. Primo tied up a play, and the Bruins once again get back defensively. Little Rob DeMiles sneaking in, and here's Josef Stumple. The Slovakian now will carry it out to center ice for Sandy Moger, just back from injury. Moger tries to spin one in front. Sammy Kapanen back defensively for the Whalers. Here's Steve Rice, who has sat out the last 2. Out to center for Paul Ranheim. The Whalers on the transition. A long shot by Featherstone doesn't click. Ranheim, top of the screen, has the loose garbage. The Bruins take over and quickly work it out to center ice. Here's Todd Ellick. Ellick on the transition over the line, rubbed out by Featherstone. Adam Burt now takes over in his own end. Takes a crunch along the boards from DeMille. And by the driftwood, it's Sammy Kapanen. Across now for Featherstone, a flip for center ice. Kapanen held up a bit, and that's why the Bruins take over with 17:38 left to go in this first period. Here's Rob DeMille. The Bruins are at 500, 4-4-1 on the young season. The Whalers 5-2-1. The Whalers right now second to Florida in the Eastern Conference. At center ice, Stu Grimson. Grimson now will scale it deep in Bruins territory. Barry Richter is back to get it. Icing is called.
Kelly Chase on for the first time this year. His first shift, coming off a broken thumb that he got during training camp in Ottawa in a fight, a little bit of a scrap, but also Sammy Kapanen playing center tonight. First time at center this season. And Nolan Pratt. How's Nolan Pratt playing with Paul Coffey? A guy that really, I think it's a tough situation as we see Kelly Chase, but for Nolan Pratt, here's a legend that he gets to play with. He's got to settle down. I'm sure Paul Coffey will talk to him and try to settle him down. He was behind the net and gave the puck away in his first shift, but a situation as we see him, he's got to be on pins and needles playing with probably an idol of his, Paul Coffey. But I like that matchup. He's a stay-at-home defenseman. Let Paul Coffey have the puck as much as possible. Let Paul move the puck out. Nolan Pratt is a perfect defenseman to play with him.
Nolan Pratt, who grew up in Alberta and saw many of those Edmonton Oilers games, with, at that time, number 7 in the lineup for the Stanley Cup champion Oilers squads. Former Bruin Wesley, Glenn Wesley in front of his own net, broken up. The puck comes out to center ice. Janssens takes a hit from Trent McCleary. The Bruins take over with Jeff Odgers feeding the puck back to the Hartford line. Wesley there, he takes a stiff front from Troy Millette. The Bruins want to mix it up. They want to play physical, and the Whalers know that. Chase drops it off for Grimson and Janssens. That doesn't click, and here's Dean Chenault out to center ice. Lead feed for Millette, broken up at the line by Wesley. Chenault recoils. 16:45 left to go in this first period. Adam Burt paired with Glenn Wesley, back to get it in his own zone. Here's the 28-year-old Wesley ahead for Grimson, right back for Glenn. He glasses one ahead through center ice, unattainable for Janssens, and getting back is Harvard University product Don Sweeney. Off for Steve Stayos. Stayos out to center ice for Oates. The Bruins on the attack. Here's Ted Donato over the stripe. He puts on the brakes in the slots for Oates, back for Donato. Oates gets it right back. The shot blockered down by Mazzotti. Here's Dineen back the other way. Kevin Dineen ahead for Andrew Castles. Here's Sanderson sneaking in over the line. Stayos hanging right with him. Steve Stayos hanging right with Sanderson. Now Dineen tries to take over, and it's scooped ahead by Adam Oates.
Good play. The Line's got a lot of speed, and they've got some great passing of Castles and good opportunities for them.
Ted Donato with a shot, no problem for Jason Mazzotti. We have a stoppage in play. No score in Boston on WV 59.
The line of Castles, Sanderson, and Dineen have played so well offensively, but Jeff Sanderson with the puck here, throws it to Kevin Dineen, and transition hockey. You cannot give the puck up and let the other team get out. It's a 2-on-2, back the other way, and a good shot here. Coming up, a great drop pass, but Jason Mazzotti at the top of his crease gets it between the legs and keeps a hold of the puck.
Off the face-off, Matthias Demander with a shot that goes astray. Robert Cron back defensively. Around the boards this way looking for Primo. Primo there chipping ahead for Andre Nikolation. He takes a hit. Puck is loose and then a big hit. Featherstone plays the body on Barry Richter, and a penalty will follow. Dave Jackson has the arm up. Through center ice, the Whalers touch up. The Bruins will go on the power play with 15:36 left to go in the first period.
Well, an interference call on the Whalers, on Featherstone right here on the near boards, taking the play and taking the body, and it's going to be an aggressive game. Sometimes the referee will let those circumstances go by because of the type of game, but he wants to get control right away and calls Featherstone. As we see along the boards here, Featherstone, the pass was taken. I think that could be a clean hit.
Yeah,
it was a good hit.
Right.
The pass was made. Featherstone followed through with it. There is a time allotment in which you can hit that guy because he was the last guy to touch the puck. But the call was made by the referee, and the Boston Bruins are going on the power play. Now watch the puck come loose here. Richter's got it. He back passed that puck, and that was a clean hit. That was a clean hit. Good hit by Featherstone. That's the type of hit and type of game that we want to play here at Hartford Whalers, that is, against the Bruins. They have to play aggressive. I think that was a good hit.
I agree with you, partner.
Thank you.
And I never doubt you nor disagree. On the air, that is. Off the air, it's ugly. So the Whalers, who were flawless with their penalty killing last night against the New York Islanders, have to do it here for chance number one. You see the numbers on the kill for the Whalers, improving at 19th in the Bruins this season as far as their power play is concerned. 15th overall, 16th at home with only 3 power play goals and 21 chances. On the road, the Whalers are exactly the same, 19th, as they have killed off all but 3 in 13 chances by the opponents.
Well, the Boston Bruins, without Raymond Bourque at the point, have their work cut out for them. It's like Whalers without Paul Coffey. We saw Paul Coffey last night for the first game, who was really, really cool with the puck. Well, Ray Bourque is the same, so these guys have to work a little bit harder and not overplay it so much.
Demander and Richter, 2 rookies. On the back line for Steve Kasper. Adam Oates, who has the puck. Steve Hines and Ted Donato up front. Bruins attack through center. Primo knocks it down. There's open ice ahead for Robert Cron over the line. He loads it up, but it's blocked on the way through by Demander. Demander back to bench, handing off for Barry Richter. Richter won the Eddie Shore Award last year, the top defenseman in the American Hockey League, that time of the New York Rangers organization. In the corner now, Adam Oates takes a hit. They peel away, back to the point this way for Demander. Inside it goes, Ted Donato at the half wall. Donato looks around, the Whalers peel back. Demander with it, holding, going down was Janssens in front. Donato mishandling, puck is loose. Wesley pounces on it, and off he goes. Wesley's hooked down. A penalty will follow. Glenn Wesley saw the opening, turned on the afterburners, and the penalty is called.
A good little dive, though, I think,
yes.
by Glenn Wesley. I wasn't going to say he was pulling away, but it was a long ship for him as a defenseman jumping up. As we see a little bit of a scramble at the blue line, the Whalers not getting a hold of it, but Wesley does as he spurts through at the blue line. Demander right there, but a hook by Richter, and Wesley goes down. Not a bad time to dive, but sometimes now with that new rule, they call the dive, and sometimes both players will go off. But a good time for Wesley to take that dive to even up. It'll be 4-on-4 for 50 seconds. Wide open hockey. Keith Primo, Cron, Coffey, Didick. This is hockey that I like. 4-on-4.
Yeah, you start drooling when you see 4-on-4
fun.
hockey. Now on the attack, the Bruins in 1 minute and 10 seconds had 21 seconds of attack time, no shots. And good by the Whaler penalty killing, and now the Whalers will enjoy an abbreviated power play shortly. Coffey tries to keep the zone. The Bruins escape harm. At center ice, you're looking at Robert Cron. All the way down to 26-year-old Jason Mazzotti. He'll leave it there for Gerald Diddick. Diddick looks around for friends to pass to. He spots Cron. He takes a seat. The Bruins look to trap the zone, and they will. Steos in the slot now, rolls right in. Great save, Mazzotti. Oh, goodness. A great stop by Jason Mazzotti on Josef Stumpel. Back the other way come the Whalers. Gerald Diddick up on the play with a shot, snagged by Ranford.
Well, Jason Mazzotti again, tremendous. He's down on one knee, maybe hurt. Stretched his groin a little bit. Boy, he was doing some gymnastics on that play. Now watch, great play in front of the net, unbelievable. Jason Stumpel. Oh, well, Josef Stumpel, Jason Stumpel. I don't know where I got that. I'm thinking Halloween 13th, you know, all that stuff. Jason. But a great play. As we see the play go in, off the skate and right to Stumpel in front of the net. Mazzotti, see as he goes back there, his right knee bent all the way back. His leg was underneath him, but a fine, fine save by Jason Mazzotti, and he needed no attention. I know he wants to stay in the net. He's on a little bit of a roll.
In 11 seconds, Featherstone is back. The Whalers will have 1 minute and 20 seconds to work with on the power play, and the Whaler power play has been red hot. Off the draw, Wesley right on the rebound, shoveled wide by Sanderson. Bill Ranford equally hot for the Bruins, hanging right in there. The Whalers get quality chances. Rob DeMaio sneaks in, tough angle, no chance. The puck comes outside the stripe. Featherstone is back. Power play time for the Whalers. Look at that, second in the league, and they are first overall, as we saw in our open, on the road. Wesley inside for Dineen. Here's Sanderson in the corner, puts on the brakes, deals away for Glenn Wesley. This way it's Paul Coffey. Coffey thinks it over inside, almost tipped by Dineen. The Bruins get it back. McCleary works it off the wall and out.
Well, the Whalers have been so good because they've had a lot of patience with the puck and made the right choices, some good passes, and they've got guys in the open. They got to settle down again here, not get too anxious.
Here's a feed from Dineen to Sanderson. The pass too far ahead of Wesley, back out to center. The Whalers regroup with 25 seconds remaining on the power play. You see it there. Hurling back at Sanderson. Bad turnover. The Bruins take over, but luckily for the Whalers, they're offside.
Yes, it was. Adam Oates was in all alone. Coffey and Sanderson, a little bit miscommunication. Again, you don't want to get too fancy, especially in your own end. You got a power play, take your time, spread everything out, come out together as a group. A little bit of a forecheck by Adam Oates, and the puck was dropped back by Sanderson, and Coffey was not there. As we watch this play, there's the miscommunication. Oates just outside the blue line, or that was going to be definitely trouble. And a great short-handed opportunity, but again, settle down. The power play's been so good that sometimes when it's going good, you get a little bit too fancy. You got to stick with the basics, and what has got this team there so far has been smart with the puck and moving it around quickly. None of those fancy plays. They've just moved it around and got into position.
14 seconds left to go in the power play. Adam Burt negotiates out to center ice and gives it off to the Bruin defense. Commander up the wing boards, knocked down by Primo. He chips in the slot for Andre Nicolishin. Nicolishin now looks around for help. Goes low to the half wall. Nicolishin still holding, down low for Primo, in front for Cron. Knocked down on the way through by Ranford. Richter's out of the box. We're back at equal strength. Steos works it out through center ice. It's knocked down by Nicolishin. The 23-year-old Russian gets it back in the Boston zone. Steve Steos off the boards out to center ice for Featherstone. Featherstone's pass is knocked down by Waugh. Getting back defensively is Robert Cron. Just about 8 minutes gone in the first period. No score here in Boston. First of 6 meetings on the season between these two longtime rivals. Steve Steos out to center ice for Rick Tocchet. The pass is knocked down by Burt. Waugh tries to sneak in. Good recovery by Adam Burt. Burt now up the wing boards and out all the way back in Boston ice.
Well, Burt is so steady, the type of player that doesn't do a lot offensively, but he's in the right position on the right time defensively and makes the big and smart play. Ranheim with a bid on goal. Ranford looking for it. He finally melts it down. Loveless. Scoreless at the Fleet Center in Boston. Back with more right after this.
Since 1979, master instructor and action film star Calazans has earned an international reputation for training champions. The traditional concept and unique approach of the Calazans system allows students to reach their highest potential quickly and safely. Success has made Calazans Karate and Kung Fu one of the largest schools in the country for law enforcement, martial arts professionals, those over 30, women and children. Flexible scheduling, special, private, and home instruction available.
Good morning, Mr. Murray.
Oh, no.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it,
I don't want it.
is to transport an elephant across the country.
Excuses, please. We're trying to make a play.
No matter what it takes.
I can't drive this.
Get away. That's cold.
Move or die.
Good luck, Bill.
Larger Than Life, rated PG. Starts Friday.
Well, from high above, we're going to see Stephen Rice corral the puck, and we're going to watch Billy Ranford play hot potato. Here's the shot on net. Now watch Ranford here. He loses his glove. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh, I'm going to get that puck eventually as he smothers it with a bare hand. Here again is the shot. His glove comes off. No skates, please. Billy Ranford losing the glove. Usually they're tied on pretty good.
2-on-1, partially for the Bruins. Jean-Yves with a shot blocked by a sliding Paul Coffey. Good play by the 35-year-old veteran to get back. Along the boards now. Bob Beers will chip it in, knocked down by Nolan Pratt. Ahead it goes for Paul Ranheim. Here's Sammy Kapanen with speed over the line, trying to cut on Don Sweeney. Sends it in on goal, frozen by Bill Ranford.
Sammy Kapanen has been very strong, had the flu and missed a couple of games, but defensively so sound, and offensively, as all Europeans are, good hands, good speed, good agility. A little bit different role for him tonight, playing center. Has to cover a lot more ice instead of going up and down the wing. But I like to see him back in the lineup. I think this could free him up a little bit and get a little bit more offense out of him.
That's right. Jeff O'Neill, a healthy scratch tonight for the Whalers. Nelson Emerson, an ankle problem, a re-injury for Nelson. He's out day-to-day. Alexander Godinuk, the back problem, also day-to-day. And, of course, Jeff Brown is out for the season with back surgery. The other scratch for the Whalers, Merrick Malik, is out defensively with Pratt in. The Bruins out to center ice, Jeff Odgers. Former San Jose Shark will bounce it in on Mazzotti. He'll scoop it up. Shortstop style. Hang on for a draw in his own zone. Hey, the We Love the Whalers night is coming up on Tuesday, November the 19th at the Hastings Hotel and Conference Center in Hartford. This benefits the Better Beginnings Fund of the Neonatal Care Center at St. Francis Hospital and Medical Center. For information, please call 860-728-3089.
A big line for the Whalers as we see some Whalers fans taking that big trip to Boston. Along with a Boston fan, there could be a fight in the crowd after that one. But this is the line, Janssens, Grimson, and Chase, that you look for to spark the team. Big hits, do their job defensively. You're not going to get a lot of production out of them, but make those big hits and turn the tide of a game.
Featherstone behind his own net starts the play on the tape of Mark Janssens. Janssens now will scoop it deep in the zone. Ranford out to play it. Ranford now up the wall by Janssens. The Bruins are there. Chase plays the body on Odgers. Out to center, Trent McCleary, the former Ottawa Senator. Over the line, they cross offside, and then Mr. Grimson says hello to Trent McCleary.
A little jab on the offside. The whistle went, and Stu Grimson was going to lay a big body check on him. The Grim Reaper, we call him. Halloween night. Look at Stu. What a great leader. Great guy to have on your team. Has so much respect around the league. Doesn't fight as much as he used to because he doesn't have to. Nobody wants to fight him. And can you blame him?
No.
But yeah, he calms everybody on the bench, and he calms the other team. A lot of the players get a little bit anxious. We see Stu sitting down. Kelly Chase back. I'm sure he's a little bit nervous back in the lineup after that thumb injury. Good line. Good spark plug line.
And they're matching the Bruins and their emotional flow line that they send out with McCleary, Millette, and Odgers.
These guys had a little battle last game against the New Jersey Devils.
Full scale. Every player on the ice involved. And of course, the Bruins are coming off a 5-2 win over New Jersey. Their best performance of the season here at the Fleet Center Tuesday night. Wesley over the line, advancing. Castles all alone in front. Ranford says no.
Excellent pass by Wesley to Castles, going to the net. But Ranford sliding across, smothered the puck, and the rebound went wide.
Rob DeMaio at center for Sandy Moger. Led the Bruins in game winners last year. The shot deflected and almost caught Mazzotti. Nothing Jason could do about it. Went off Wesley, but luckily went wide for the Whalers. Rink wide for Sanderson. Over the stripe, he puts on the brakes. Sanderson looks around. Down low for Castles. By him, Ranford moves it along. Pratt pinches in for the Whalers. Dug out by Todd Ellick. And back out to center ice.
Well, end-to-end action. These two teams are grinding teams. But not bad skating abilities and some good outlet passes, and great play though in front by Wesley again on the backhand as he fired it across to Castles. A beautiful play and a great chance.
Pretty good pace here at the outset. Over the line now. Richter moves in, centers in front. on the turning stick of Adam Oates. In the slot, knocked down. A good play by Cron. The Whalers stationed perfectly defensively. They get it out to neutral ice. Here's Donato on the transition. Donato holding that puck, shooting. Mazzotti snags it.
Good play by Jason Mazzotti again. Great shot. In fact, I think Mazzotti was preparing for a pass across the crease. He was deep in his net. Stumple fires it, and a good glove hand save as we see the 2-on-1 develop in the neutral zone. Now watch him take it to the left, and watch Mazzotti back, maybe thinking there's going to be a pass, but he shoots from a tough angle. Pratt right in front of him, and he snags on and holds on. But look where he's situated in the net. He's right on the goal line. You're going to see it again from another angle. Here comes the shot. Mazzotti, I think he was expecting that guy going to the net to maybe deflect it. Good play by him, frees it up.
And you see the poise of the goaltender with traffic cruising by, and great concentration by Jason Mazzotti. Didick around the boards, not out, held in by Richter, but knocked down by Primo. Out to center, a partial 3-on-2 for the Whalers. Here's Andre Nikolation. Good poke check at the line, though, and Oates takes over. Oates now feeds ahead for Richter, chipped ahead by Didick. Puck bouncing around as we see in the neutral zone. Oates after it, gathered in by Didick. Knocked down by Steve Hines. Hines holding, shooting, but fanning on it. And 31-year-old Gerald Didick takes over. Around the boards it goes for Andre Nikolation. Nikolation now out there with Primo and Cron over the line. Just a bit offside. No score in Boston. Gerald Didick battling the Bruins on 59.
One of our jobs is ensuring Major League Baseball teams and the airlines they fly on and the hotels they sleep in. We also ensure the stadiums they play in.
It's a beautiful day for baseball.
And the hot dogs they sell. We ensure the satellite broadcasting the game. We even insure the gloves, the bats, the balls. And fortunately, the cars in the lot. AIG, world leaders in insurance and financial services.
She is not a computer whiz or a financial genius. She's just a parent who wants to send her son to college and found an amazing new way to get some one-on-one help. People's Bank introduces video banking.
Let me show you how easy this can be.
Use it to get expert financial advice or just open an account in your local branch or 7 days a week in your Super Stop and Shop. Video banking. One more way, it's possible at People's.
Oh, good. Let me see. That's him. Oh, he's adorable.
A new dimension, I believe, the Whalers bring this year is the transition game. They've got some good lines, and watch Keith Primo here pick this pass off. Now it's a 3-on-2. He passes up to Nikolation. Cron cutting across, still a 3-on-2. Nikolation tries to make the blue line, but he loses it, and Lucky Featherstone's right there to break it up. That's a transition game that's got to go deep at least. You cannot lose the puck at the blue line.
Down low now, the Whalers touch up. Icing is called here. It will swing back the other way. 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this first period. No score. As we see Paul Maurice, who was not particularly happy this morning about the last 3 games.
Well, they're 500 over those 3 games, but you have to look at who they've played, and I've talked about it. I think the schedule at this time is rather easy, a lot of days off, and Paul Maurice thinks the fact that they haven't played enough games is why they haven't played so well. You got to get into that rhythm of playing every second night, and they've had so many days off that they really have been inconsistent, and they played some good third periods, which could be good and could be bad. You don't want to have to come from behind every time in the third period and score some goals to get back in the game. But overall, he wants to see more balance in a 60-minute game.
Kapanen, Rice, and Ranheim out. A new line put together by Paul Maurice, and now Sweeney takes over. Up the boards this way. Rice is there to pick it off. Right back deep in the zone it goes. The corner wall. Sweeney is hit by Kapanen. Held in by Ranheim. Rice has the loose garbage. Rice spins in front. Back to the point. Glenn Wesley. Wesley with a wrist shot. Right on. Ran for the stop, and it's worked out by Sweeney. Held in, though, by Burt. Here's Kapanen all alone. Ranheim with it. Shooting. And they score! Paul Ranheim ignites the Whalers with 12 minutes gone in the first period. Hartford leads it 1-0.
This whole play was set up by Stephen Rice, who did not dress and was a healthy scratch, and he came back tonight, and his forecheck has been aggressive behind the net. He threw the puck back to the point. Wesley with a shot, and the play developed. We're going to see it here from the point now. Burt throws it in deep. Kapanen's going to get the puck, and a nice little drop pass. Ranheim actually loses control of it, but then gets another shot at it. And look at that puck. Bing, bong, bing-a-bang-a-bong. Through the legs of Ranford. It hit both his legs a couple of times. We're going to see another look. He loses it, fires it. 1, 2, 3, and then trickles in on edge. Great goal for Paul Ranheim. This line on that shift played very aggressive, and that is what the Whalers have to do on a more consistent basis. A big goal.
Well, Ranheim, his second goal in his last 7 games. They want him to get that scoring touch going, and he does here early in the first period. The all-important first goal. The Whalers are 4-0-1 when they score first. At center ice now, Adam Oates. The neutral zone broken up by Coffey, right back in Boston ice. 12 minutes, the time of the goal. Kapanen and Burt get the assist on the goal. Another chance right here. Dineen fans on it with 24 square feet ahead. Dineen now in the slot for Castles. Lost his edge. He goes down. Hines is back defensively, and the former Boston College product gets it ahead for Oates. Over the line now, the attack. Coffey with Oates draped over him. Gets it free to the open corner. Nolan Pratt is there.
Kevin didn't expect it, I don't think.
I don't think he did. Hines over the line now. Wesley scoops ahead with 13 minutes gone in the first period. The Whalers take the important 1-0 lead. Behind the net now, the Bruins take over around the boards, looking for Hines. It comes back out to neutral ice.
Not here.
Glenn Wesley is there, sending it back for Adam Burt. They were such a great pair last year, and they've been reunited here in the early going. Don Sweeney back in his own zone, hit by his opposite number, Stu Grimson. The puck again jumps out to center. But the Whalers are stationed perfectly. They're jumping on the loose puck, and they have a lot of puck possession so far.
A much better game overall. They play aggressive hockey. They're taking the body, which they really haven't done the last 3 games, and that's the key to their game. They take the body, and they're going to get better positioning on the ice and more freedom to move.
Now, time of possession is important, obviously, in football, but it is too in hockey and sometimes not looked at. Moger over the line. Drop pass, broken up and cleared out by Mark Jansen. Steve Stayos into the Hartford zone. Featherstone doing battle with Sandy Moger. Feather goes down, clubs it ahead legally. Onto the stick of Mark Jansen. Jansen's from neutral ice, pestered from behind, but tries to get it deep in the Boston zone. Barry Richter lost it, Chase with it, the shot. Ranford shuts it down. Kelly Chase with a good bid. Along the boards now, Moger tries to work it out. Primo touches up, offside.
Great play by Kelly Chase, working hard along the boards, and that's his game, along the boards, being aggressive, taking the body and taking the loose pucks as he did there as he moved in with a shot. Ranford at the top of his crease, right into the pillows. But Kelly Chase back, he's worked very, very hard for a long time. With a hand injury, you don't get much time off. You could still skate, and he said that he was down to about 120 pounds after the skating that the coaching staff has put him through over the last month and a half.
Billy, here's a scoring chance. Kevin Dineen just missing.
Castle's an excellent feed, and Kevin just ahead of the play. Look at that 6x4. I'm not going to say it, that I know, John, you would have scored there.
So far, that's, of course,
you're going to have 50 goals.
You're saying this all the time. We watch morning skates, and I'm up to 50, I think, by now.
At least.
You could have scored that. You could have, you know. You don't know that. Back in the zone. You haven't followed the scouting report. No finish. Here's Coffey with a shot. Knocked down in front. The Whalers take over. Robert Cron. Cron in close quarters. Good pass. Coffey beautifully keeps the zone. Down low now, the Bruins finally exit. And again, the Whalers are right on the puck. Nolan Pratt takes a hit, a big one. Waugh and Tocchet going at Pratt. Puck is cleared deep in Boston territory. 5:23 left to go in the first period. The Whalers with a 1-0 lead thanks to the goal by Paul Ranheim. Primo in front for Cron. Broken up. Stumple pushes ahead for Rick Tocchet. The scoring chances are 7-3 Hartford in the game thus far. Now Tocchet over the line is hit by Nolan Pratt. Pratt tries to advance out. Now Cron will tap out to center.
Again, a good, both lines here are very physical, and you can see whoever's taking the body is getting possession of the puck.
Don Sweeney snaps one, knocked down by Coffey. Close call. Jean-Yves Waugh after it. He hits Rice from behind. Puck is held in the zone. Don Sweeney works it in. Paul Coffey there for the Whalers. Out to center ice. Coffey with that fluid stride over the line now holding. Works it in deep. After it is Rice. Down low for Kapanen on the cycle. The Whalers now persevere. Chenault wrapped up there. It's dug out by Kapanen. In the corner it goes for Rice. Rice is left up by Sweeney. Loose behind the goal. Sammy Kapanen getting away from Troy Millette. Tries to work out in front, but Millette kicks his pocket and has the puck. Millette now shies away from a hit and gets it out to center ice. Diddick there for the Whalers. Diddick tries to advance over the stripe. Chenault breaks it up. Puck is loose at the checkered stripe, as we see, with 4:14 left to go in the first period. Whalers with a 1-goal lead early on here in Boston. Trent McCleary starts the play and scales it deep in the zone. Around the wall it goes. There's Dineen on the tape of Kapanen. Oh my, is he hit by Trent McCleary. Big hit in the neutral zone, and here we go. Policing the matters and moving in. As the Whalers obviously took exception. I believe that's Glenn Featherstone.
It is definitely Featherstone. I think there's an initial cross-check, and I'm not sure who he's calling it on because he did not have his hand up, the referee that is. Featherstone went at the first play, protecting after the hit on Kapanen, and there was no penalty, but then the referee put his hand up when I believe Odgers came in, so we'll have to see what happened. Sort it out
when we come back on Connecticut's WB 59.
If you're in the market for a low-risk investment vehicle, may we suggest the Honda Accord LX. With its exceptional quality and low upkeep, the Accord helps your money go further. In fact, now you can lease an Accord for $239 a month for 24 months and a $750 down payment. The Honda Accord LX. It can yield some very nice dividends. See your Honda dealer today.
All Patsy wanted was the free hearing checkup one company offered. But then, was she sold a potentially damaging hearing aid she did not need?
Well, I guess it didn't occur to me somebody would do that.
Now Consumer Team 8 wants answers.
They should have had her see a doctor. She has very good hearing for her age.
Find out whether Patsy will get her $3,100 back and see if other hearing aid companies are doing business this way. Sounds suspicious. Tonight at 11 on News Channel 8.
Well, the forte this year for the Hartford Whalers is the forecheck. When they're playing well and strong forechecking wise, you get a lot of opportunities. Stephen Rice played a great game so far along with Sammy Kapanen. As we see Kapanen behind the net, Rice threw it to him. Look at that spinorama move, and he's going to walk out with get a little bit of a hook there. But that is what this line has done so far. These guys are all hungry to play. They want to play a regular shift. Kapanen coming back there, knocking the puck out of play. But they are hungry, and they're playing awfully well in this first period. A good line so far, a good mix.
Well, Featherstone gets 5 minutes for fighting, and Jeff Odgers of the Bruins gets 2 minutes for instigating, 5 for fighting, and the 10-minute misconduct, which is the new rule this year. No longer do you get the boot until you do it twice, that being the instigating minor.
Was that a fight? Wow.
I guess it was.
It's a lot of minutes for that.
So now we have the second power play of the night for the Whalers. A chance for them to take a 2-0 lead. Coffey cranks it up. All Coffey out on the points with Glenn Wesley. Up front, it's Castles, Sanderson, and Dineen. Kevin Dineen for Castles, back for Wesley. Wesley now jitterbugs it down low for Dineen. Dineen now will stretch it out. Kevin Dineen looks it over. Shot taken by Wesley, ran for the save, and it's cleaned up and out by Sweeney.
Excellent shot, a lot of traffic in front, and that's when you want to shoot it. But a great save by Ranford there with a big kick save, and he knocked it all the way out, and his defenseman threw it outside. But so far, again, some nice puck movement, and nothing wrong with taking that long shot as long as there is traffic in front of the net.
The Whalers have 10 shots thus far. The Bruins with 5, and Ranford has been special, as he has been all season long for the Boston Bruins. Working it out now, it's Adam Burt. Burt trying to get it ahead, broken up by Donato, back for the defense of Tamander. Matthias Tamander gets it right back in Hartford ice. Body out to play it. He'll hand off for Coffey with 39 clicks remaining on the power play. Adam Burt now works it ahead for Andre Nicolishin. Looking for Cron. It's knocked down. Good coverage by the Bruins. Steve Hines takes over and right back in the Whalers zone.
Just can't force yourself all the time. Take your time, come out together as a group and make the easy plays. Don't try to force something that may not get there and you'll lose control.
One final rush for the Whalers as Nicolishin shot blocker down by Ranford. Didick looking for the rebound, has it. His backhand is blocked in front and cleared out. Mopped up by Tamander.
A lot of scrambles in front of the net. The Bruins are all converging back on the net, looking like an inexperienced club, and the Whalers having a problem getting the puck also there, but some good opportunities.
Well, they squander the power play chance. Adam Burt now will flip it deep in Boston territory. Rice after it. Takes a heavy hit behind the goal. Continues ahead. Tries to center in front. Nicolishin jumps on it. Centers out in front. Nobody home. Out to center. The Bruins on the attack in the person of Rob DeMaio. DeMaio now drops it back in the slot. And nobody home for the Bruins. Back the other way. Andre Nicolishin. End-to-end action. Over the line. Drops it off. Coffey shot off the goal post. Coffey gets it right back. His shot is kicked out by Billy Ranford. In the corner it goes for Steve Rice. Andre Nicolishin is there. Back to the point. Coffey had vacated that area. Comes all the way back in the zone. Foot race ensues. Tocchet gets to it. Rick Tocchet with a shot. Short side. Shut down by Mazzotti. He clears it away.
Great play by Mazzotti also to clear the rebound. No rebound whatsoever. And great play down the other end. Coffey, they're moving up on the play. It was actually a 4-on-2. Nick Galichin taking his time, great patience with the puck. Stephen Rice skating as hard as he could down the ice to create that opening for Paul Coffey, and boy, did he let it rip off the post. They've had a couple of opportunities to really open up this game, the Whalers have. Snake bitten a little bit, maybe on their chances. But here it is from one end. Nick Galichin has the puck. Coffey coming up into the slot area. You don't see Stephen Rice to the right of your picture, but Coffey gets everything behind that shot. Ranford maybe touched it, then hit the post. There you see Stephen Rice. Good 3-on-2. We're going to see from the other end. This is Ranford's angle. Well, that's another save by Ranford. He kicks the puck into the corner. Stephen Rice. Excellent shift by him. And again, competition. When you have a couple extra guys, nothing wrong with sitting somebody up because they come back much more hungry, and Stephen Rice is proving that point.
60 seconds left to go in period 1. Out to center ice, it's Andrew Castles over the line. Good play here. Dineen with a shot. Absorbed by Bill Ranford.
Pretty to watch. Andrew Castles is very smooth. Something like Adam Oates. Adam Oates I'm a little bit more used to, played against. As we look at the standings, look at that. Hartford Whalers, how's that? Sometimes people would say, well, maybe you should turn that upside down with Pittsburgh Penguins on the bottom. But overall, in the conference, the Whalers have played the least amount of games in the NHL, so they've got some catching up to do. As you see, though, in fine position, Florida Panthers, so they've been unbelievable, strong defensive hockey. But the Whalers have to be proud of the way they play. They got some good games coming up, and they have to play strong just like they're playing tonight.
Right off the draw, Sanderson has the puck. Sanderson now with Dineen and Castles. Skating with it. Down low for Kevin. It goes by him. Behind the net, it's Dean Chenault. Chenault now starts ahead. You see the time left in period 1. Wesley for Andrew Castles. Castles now a chip ahead. Dineen seizes it for the moment, tries to get it back, and it's worked back out to center ice. Steve Hines bats it down, gets the puck. Hines puts on the brakes, cutting on Wesley, lost his footing. Here's Donato behind the cage. Donato back for Hines. He's met in front, a brick wall thrown up by Dineen and Burke. Out to center, Jeff Sanderson, 14 seconds left in the period. Sanderson now looks for friends to pass to. Has one in front, but it's knocked down defensively by Donato and cushioned right back in the Whalers zone.
We saw two great defensive plays at both ends of the rinks. First of all, the Whalers broke up a chance from the Boston Bruins and went down the other way, and then Sanderson with that ill-advised pass. He's seen that a lot. He's great offensively, but he's made some passes into the slot areas a couple times at both ends, and the team, opposing team, has gone down the rink and had a good opportunity. But overall, John, a pretty good period for the Whalers. I think they've turned it around. And when you're playing the Boston Bruins, you know you have to be on your A game and play aggressive hockey. They had a good first period.
Good first period. The score, the Hartford Whalers won, the Boston Bruins nothing. When we come back, it's Halloween, so the Grim Reaper will be with us. Stu Grimson on Connecticut's WB 59.
Bay, I'll tell you, they have a good team. They play so well defensively, and that's something they've turned around. I think with Florida Panthers playing so well, I think they look at them and have that competition with them, but they're playing strong defensively, and they don't have a lot really talent-wise. Dino Cicerelli was a great acquisition in scoring goals at will, but the Philadelphia, does one guy really mean that much? It's really interesting that Eric Lindros, since he's not in the lineup, the Philadelphia Flyers have struggled, and I find it hard to believe that one guy makes that much difference on that team.
It's amazing, and it has to be frustrating for Eric Lindros. Now, he hurt that groin doing one-timers after practice during the World Cup, and it was a type of a situation that looked to be not too serious, but you know what that's like as a player, and then all of a sudden it becomes serious, and it's not too serious, and they don't know when he'll be back.
Well, I listened to an interview with him, and it did happen during the World Cup, but then he tripped over Ronnie Hextall in practice, and that's when it really tore a little bit more, and it's a situation where if he's not healthy and it's going to be an aggravation, and we had the same instance here with Paul Coffey. They let him rest and let him get perfectly 100% healthy. And I think with Lindros, the ice time he gets, the way he plays, he's so aggressive, so big, and everybody likes to run at him too. You need him to be 100%. You can't bring him back at 90, as we see some pretty good-looking Whaler fans. But it's a situation where they know when he gets back in the lineup that the team will turn it around. But so many people are picking them to win the side and maybe win the Stanley Cup. It'll be very interesting to see if he can turn that team around.
As it was last night in Hartford, Halloween costume night, the very same thing tonight here at the Fleet Center. And lots of the youngsters are all dressed up on Halloween, having a great time here, and some of the oldsters too.
I wonder who's got all the candy, though. We're up here.
We do.
Do we?
We raided a couple of those kids on the way up. And I have a satchel filled with good stuff here that we will enjoy at some other time tonight, possibly on the way home. I'd like to wish everyone a very happy Halloween season from all of us here at WB 59. right off the face-off. Kind of a surprising shot. No problem for Mazzotti. Adam Oates has it for Boston. Broken up by Adam Burt. Out to center for Kevin Dineen. Dineen's lead feed for Andrew Castles. Cut off by Steve Stale. With it now is Don Sweeney. Out for Ted Donato. He can scoot through center. He drops it off for Adam Oates over the line. Oates now back in the slot, looking for Steve Hines. And a good play defensively. Tough on the puck. Kevin Dineen.
Right. Kevin Dineen, tremendous there. Hines in a great area to get the puck and have a good shot on net. But Kevin Dineen strong on the stick and strong on the puck. Beat him out and got the puck into the neutral zone.
Donato deep in the zone. Feeds one in front. Broken up by Dineen. Dineen out for Jeff Sanderson. Sanderson now starts his engine through center ice. Sanderson over the line. Has a chance for a shot. It's fended off by Ranford.
Boy, did he protect the puck very well there. Put it ahead of himself. Got ahead of Sweeney. Got a good shot on net. Not a lot of wood on it, but an excellent play using his strength and speed.
Matthias Tenander now will flip it deep in the zone. He takes a hit from Cron, and back to get it is Paul Coffey. Through center ice, the lead pass by Cron. Tamander is there to mop it up. Work it across with 1 minute and 10 seconds gone in the second period. Paul Ranheim has the goal, and the Whalers own the 1-0 lead through center ice. Jumping on it, Andre Nicolishin. Nicolishin, a tough one here. Broken up. Tocchet with it in the slot for Stumple. The shot goes wide. Tocchet, the bouncing puck, settles it down in the Hartford zone. Rick Tocchet now will flip behind the goal. We see it go free to the top of your screen. Andre Nicolishin on it for the Whalers. He coughed it up, and now he tries to make up for it by getting it out to center ice. Robert Cron met there by Waugh. Jean-Yves Waugh with help from Stumple gets it back for the defense. They move it across for Barry Richter. Richter by Primo ahead for Joseph Stumple. Stumple drops it off for Tocchet. Tocchet now walks right in. Goes behind the net. Centers in front. The bouncing puck fanned on by Nolan Pratt. Nolan gets it right back and works it out to neutral ice.
A couple of great opportunities for the Boston Bruins, but Jason Mazzotti holding his ground and making the save when he had to. But again, defensive lapses, a couple of giveaways caused those situations to develop. The only time the Whalers have really gotten into trouble is when they do that. And the plays are not plays where they've been pressured a lot. It's just been straight giveaways, and you just can't do that in your own zone. When you have any trouble, you're at the blue line, get the puck out first. Concentrate on that. The fancy play won't work.
Sometimes the best route is a simple one.
That's right. It's all it is. A simple game. You know that, John.
I know that. I know
all the
that.
Years you played.
That KISS theory.
Well, the giveaway that really sparked everything was Nicolishin, first of all, in front of the net as he crossed it through, as we see Kevin Dineen getting it out to Sanderson. Now this is Sanderson coming down the ice, as I said earlier, looking to protect it on Sweeney. Protects the puck and gets a good shot. Very good speed. He has a wicked shot, but good play by Sanderson there, and a good play by Kevin Dineen, strong on the puck to get it out.
DeMaio moves it across out to center now. The Bruins on the advance. Kapanen takes a hit. Ranheim back to get it. Ranheim through center ice. The lead pass for Weiss rolls in on Ranford. Ranford now will move it along. DeMaio there out to center ice. Broken up by Kapanen. Ellick is there. Todd Ellick jumps on it over the line. They work it this way for Rob DeMaio. DeMaio tries to center in front. It's knocked down by Didick. There's free behind the net. Featherstone there for the Whalers. Featherstone ahead for Sammy Kapanen. 17:22 left to go in the second period. Kapanen now will get it deep in the Boston zone. Ranford there to play it. Ranford around the boards. Weiss stationed there for the Whalers. It comes back to the point outside the stripe. Played by Adam Burt. Across for Wesley. Here's Sanderson. Sanderson now approaches the line. Wheels it deep. Billy Ranford out to play it. The one-time Conn Smythe Trophy winner will leave it there as the puck is worked into the crowd this way. No further play. 1-0. The Whalers have the lead on Connecticut's 59.
A cereal bar from Entenmann's? We make good for you taste good. Introducing new Entenmann's multi-grain cereal bars. They're low in fat. Ours are full of real strawberries with nourishing grains, our own apples, baked fresh every day. And they taste that way. New Entenmann's multi-grain cereal bars. Taste how good a cereal bar can be.
I'm not going to get rich being a teacher, that's for sure.
In matters of money, what matters to you?
Getting her through college.
I'm in pretty good health, so planning for my future, I'm making sure my income's around as long as I am.
A bank that isn't scared to death of entrepreneurs.
When you're looking for financial solutions, look to Fleet, the bank with more of them.
A branch near me. A cool new car.
A warm old house.
To learn more, stop by the Fleet Bank branch near you or call 1-800-CALL-FLEET.
Paul Maurice and the Whalers look on 1-0 with 16:59 left to go in the second period.
Adam Oates and excellent player, great passer with the puck. Played in St. Louis with Brett Hull, and I think Brett Hull really misses Adam Oates. But overall, the Whalers are going to be happy with the way they've played so far. Paul Maurice is going to be a little bit satisfied as we see Glenn Wesley, I believe, is down on the far boards. A strong hit.
And a penalty coming up here,
Steve
Billy.
Hines. It's one of those ones from behind, maybe. We're going to see what the call is. Didn't catch it. It was on the top after Wesley threw it around the boards. Hines was on his back. We're going to see high stick. Glenn Wesley's played very, very well. Very consistent.
I was going to say a double minor, and it is 4 minutes.
Good call, John. You should referee also. I've got you doing everything this year. You're right on top of it. Yes, a little bit of a cut on the lip.
Yep.
Going to see the play. Here's Wesley on the far left. He's trying to shoot the puck, and he's trying to walk by, and there is definitely a high stick into the face. Trying to make an extra little move there to get around so Hines doesn't block the pass or the shot. And Hines knew that he was going to get beat, so he came up high with a stick. Cost him a double minor, a great opportunity. The Whalers had plenty of chances in the first period to break this game open.
Yeah.
Could have been easily 2 or 3-0, but here's a great opportunity. They're going to get back-to-back minors on Steve Hines where they can score a couple of goals and maybe open it up a little bit.
Steve Hines, who leads the Bruins in goal scoring with 6. Off to a good start, and Bud Govea, the very fine trainer of the Whalers, working on Glenn Wesley, who absorbed that hit along the far side, and the double minor called here by Dave Jackson. Great chance for the Whalers on the power play. Sammy Kapanen will man 1 point, Paul Coffey the other. Castles, Sanderson, and Dineen up front. You're looking at Jeff Sanderson off for Andrew Castles. Here's Dineen with it, shooting. Ranford, no rebound.
Kevin Dineen somehow finds an open area and gets to it, and Andrew Castle amazes me how he sees the ice. Finds Kevin Dineen. Smooth again. How simple was that? There's the shot by Dineen, a little bit high. Sanderson going to the net. If that was about a second later, would have been a perfect screen or maybe a tip. But Castle's good breakout, smooth breakout. Kapanen is in place of Emerson. Playing very well again. He started the year when Emerson was on the disabled list. Sammy Kapanen played the point on the power play, and he's back on it tonight with Emerson out, but hasn't missed a beat.
Off the faceoff, Sanderson has it along the boards. Up top for Kapanen. Sanderson right back. Here's Castles. Castles for Sanderson. Sanderson with a shot tipped by Dineen. It goes astray. Kevin after it. Hogtied a bit from behind. They go to the corner wall. Oates has the puck, and Adam Oates very calmly gets it out to neutral ice for Rob DeMaio. DeMaio with speed hits the line, lost the puck. Sanderson now recoils. 3:17 left to go in the double minor. Sanderson looks it across for Coffey. Broken up off his stick by Don Sweeney. Kapanen gets it right back. Here's 77, Paul Coffey. Off for Sanderson. Sanderson at the line. The Bruins do a good job. They have the wall put up at the line. The Whalers can't penetrate.
They certainly did, but Sanderson did the smart thing. He took the puck back instead of throwing it in. When everybody's standing still, you're not going to get that puck and win those battles down low. So he took it back and got everything settled down, and I like that. That's good patience by Jeff Sanderson, and everybody can come back and regroup and come back at them. If you throw it in, you're giving it away, and you're going to have to fight for the puck all the way down the ice again. So Jeff Sanderson, smart play. Paul Coffey threw the pass up a little quickly, and that's what blocked everything at the blue line, but a good play by Boston, holding their own at their own blue line.
Coffey picked up an assist last night, and Paul Coffey right here. Here is the quote of the year by Paul Maurice on Paul Coffey. Ooh, man, he can skate. See, sometimes you just have to keep that simple, too. And a very nice job by Ralph Waldo Emerson, Paul Maurice. And in the game last night, Coffey looked like he almost scored a goal. It was tipped in by Castles. Coffey with 1 assist in 3 games thus far for the Whalers, but he sticks around. Much more to come. And he looks very nice on the point for the Whalers on the power play. 2:37 left in this double minor infraction. Adam Burt for Robert Cron. Cron on the move, drops it off for Keith Primo. Primo looks around, holding that puck down low in the corner for Cron. Here's Featherstone. Featherstone's shot, screen shot, a rebound played by Nicolation. Cron gets it at the half wall. Down low, Andre Nicolation walking with it right on. Ranford says no. Puck is loose, pouncing on it, Robert Cron. Cron again, stretches it out, shoots one high in the sky and out of play.
Simple plays, a lot of chances. And Robert Cron came out of the corner there, and Adam Burt was sliding in. Would have been a great play, but he took the shot himself. As you see, Cron to Nicolation. Pardon me, Nicolation's going to take the shot. at the top of your screen, you just didn't see it. But Adam Burt was sneaking in, would have been right on the post, would have been a beautiful pass right through the crease, and he would have had an empty net goal. But again, simple plays on the outside, and then some penetration in by getting quick passes and making the Boston Bruins move towards them and getting them out of position. Somebody's got to be open. Fine passing.
27-year-old Adam Burt out of Detroit, Michigan. Drafted in his hometown back in 1987. That's where the NHL draft took place, when the Whalers picked him off in the second round. Puck is cleared back in the Hartford zone as we see, with 2 minutes left to go in the power play. Glenn Wesley, hog-tied by Oates. DeMaio has it, shot, kicked out by Mazzotti. DeMaio his own rebound, and Wesley recovers nicely on Rob DeMaio.
Sorry about that. Rob DeMaio's only got one goal, and it is a short-handed goal, and he is pesky out there. He loves to do that, get on top of you and take advantage. Loves to take the body. Smallish guy, but boy, he can skate and scoot.
Steve Staios down low. Sanderson in the high slot for Wesley. Wesley pass too far ahead of Castles. Dineen behind the goal. Here's Castles at the half wall. Andrew Castles telegraphed the pass. It's broken up by Oates.
Oh, tough play, tough situation, but you can't make those turnovers because you're going to get chances against you. And lackadaisical, after you make a bad play, you got to bust your butt and get back into the action. A 2-on-2 or a 2-on-1 the other way, you're in big trouble.
50 seconds left to go on this power play chance as they hit the line. It's Cron with it. Cron right out in front for Nicolation, who's knocked down. Here's Coffey moving up. Coffey now from the corner passes to Primo. Keith Primo at the hash mark for Robert Cron. Cron goes up top for Adam Burt. Screen wrister tipped wide. Puck goes to the corner. Nicolation on it. Andre Nicolation for Paul Coffey. Coffey loads the gun. It's tipped, and again it goes wide with Primo staked out in front. At the point, zone held by Adam Burt. Burt looks around, banks it ahead for Cron. Cron cycles it for Nicolation, walking with space. Nicolation for Coffey, holding. Here's Burt, the one-timer, blocked nicely and cleared out of the zone by Don Sweeney.
Great play by Sweeney. Again, the quick movement would have been a great opportunity for Burt to get through, but Sweeney came out and had a good block, good timing.
Nicolation knocks it down. 22 clicks left to go on the power play. Nicolation now down low for Primo, right out in front, and the pass unattainable for Rice. Featherstone for Burt, a one-timer. Clay glances right off the crossbar, and now the Whalers get it back. Primo's shot goes wide. Featherstone moves in. McCleary back defensively and outside the line.
Well, a big kill with only 4 seconds left. A double minor, and they killed it off. Good opportunities for the Whalers, but they just didn't penetrate Bill Ranford.
Crowd roars here at the Fleet Centers. They've killed it off. Kapanen down low, fights through a couple of checks, goes to the corner, spins away from Jean-Yves Roy. Puck is loose. Tenander tries to exit the zone. Ranheim, who has the game's only goal, has the puck. Here's Rice. Rice now tries to work it in front. Tenander is there. Trouble brewing. Puck is still loose. McCleary wants a whistle. Ranheim pushing ahead, and play continues. Here's Kapanen absorbing a hit from Trent McCleary. Rice jumps on the puck. Tries to get by Barry Richter. Uses the goal as protection. Tries to center in front. Well, the Bruins, all they can do to get it out, and finally they do, but not out. Held in for the moment, soccer style, finally out of the zone by Barry Richter, who said, I've had enough.
Took a different sport to get the puck out as he booted it. His stick is broken. It's behind the net. But again, off the glass, and what a funny bounce into that. Actually would have been a good situation, but Richter right there with the soccer style boot.
That back hit hard by Tocchet. They push at one another. Jansen's back defensively. Stumple has the puck. Steve Staios. Staios now works it behind the goal. Here's Tocchet. Tocchet behind the goal, leaving for Rob DeMaio. DeMaio centers in front. Mazzotti there to wedge it up against the post. No further play. Heavy action in Boston. 1-0 the Whalers on WB 59.
Well, a miscue defensively by the Whalers, and Jason Mazzotti had to freeze the puck. We see Rick Tocchet and Gerald Diddick back behind, fighting for it. Then later on, Nolan Pratt's got his man. But there's 3 men, 3 Whalers been in behind, and there's DeMaio coming in late. If the pass got through, he would have been all alone in front of the net. And the possibility of that happening when you have 3 guys and you lose control of that puck, you're leaving somebody open in the slot here, and DeMaio luckily did not get the puck.
Caught right off the draw by Steve Staios, is knocked down and out to center ice for Jeff Sanderson. He'll scale it in wide of Bill Ranford. The Whalers had 2 minutes and 3 seconds of attack time on that double minor power play and only 2 shots with the man advantage. Gerald Diddick now wrists one deep in Boston territory. Steve Staios, the former St. Louis draft pick, back to play it. Up the wall it goes, knocked down by the 6'4" frame of Featherstone. Back to the defense where Don Sweeney plays the puck. And it goes for Stumple back in the Whaler end. 11:07 left to go in the second period. All Ranheim's first period goal, the only scoring thus far as the Whalers cross the line offside.
Glenn Featherstone trying to jump up and almost a breakaway. Kevin Dineen just put the pass behind him. But Feather, seeing the little open ice there, took advantage of it. I think he would have loved, the defenseman always loves to have a breakaway because you really don't get it too often. And he spotted the opening, and Dineen just missed him, a little bit behind him. So we see Joseph Stumble. He's got 3 goals, 6 assists, 9 points, and second on scoring for the Boston Bruins. In his last 6 games, he played very well. Key guy to their situation.
He had a great World Cup too, playing for the Slovakia team, who was a surprise. A lot of people didn't. They thought the Czech Republic would be the big team coming out of that area of Europe, but Slovakia, not bad.
Split up a lot of good players, though, those countries. You got to remember back in the 70s when the Canada Cups, and you get all those Russians to pick from, and now they're all split up. Just shows how good those countries really are, even though they have many teams now instead of the 1 or 2 huge areas. Czechoslovakia played in Europe for 4 years, went over there, played a bunch of teams. They are tremendous. A lot of hockey. They love the game.
Off the face-off in the neutral zone, the Bruins feed it in. Jason Mazzotti will leave it there for Glenn Wesley. Up the boards by Nicolishin. Tamander tries to keep the zone. Primo spots Robert Cron. At the line, they cross onside. Cron now surveys in the slot for Andre Nicolishin. Good speed here. Nicolishin walks right out in front. Cranford the stop, and he smothers.
Well, this line does the same thing over and over, maybe a little bit different mixture. Again, Primo goes straight to the net, and Nicolishin and Cron do some fancy dangling around. Now watch Nicolishin, a great puck control. Again, he uses his body and his strength and his speed. Goes, cuts in front. I like the way he uses his left leg to fend off the stick. It gets a good opportunity. Ranford sprawling to his right, makes a save. Again, we're going to see it. Now watch his left leg as he puts it in front there to keep the stick away from him, from number 19, DeMaio. And a good play by Nicolishin as we see his totals: 2 goals, 5 assists. Last 6 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. This line is very, very good.
Shots are 13-7 Hartford thus far. More importantly, the scoring chances 12-5 in favor of the Whalers. Bruins with Todd Ellick's shot, knocked down by Mazzotti. Behind the goalie, center in front, cleaned up by Coffey. It goes to the corner. The Bruins pounce on it. In the slot, backhand bid, knocked down by DeMaio, broken up by Primo, not out. Chenault spinner, knocked down by Andre Nicolishin. Out to center they come. Andre Nicolishin hits the line, looks for help, holding that puck in the high slot. Now he dances away from the defense. Lost the handle. Along the boards now, the Whalers work hard for it. Cron and Nicolishin looking for it. Nicolishin broke his stick. Puck loose in the corner. Cron on it. Robert Cron wedged there by Dean Chenault, and the Bruins take over in the person of Troy Millette.
I don't know if he uses an aluminum stick or not, but that sure snapped in half. It didn't fray, it just went snap, just like somebody sawed it in half. Maybe it was a prank. Its stick just broke apart, but good play again by Nicolishin. No one overhand there and lost control. And the Bruins broke out, as we're going to see the replay down at the other end against the Whalers. I don't know if this puck hits the post. Todd Ellick gets a shot here. We're going to see it flutter. Does it go off the crossbar? A little different angle there, but Jason Mazzotti at the top of his crease maybe got a piece of that and then hit the crossbar. Again, a couple of defensive lapses and a good play by Boston. Get in there, Todd Ellick with 2 goals and 5 assists so far this season. He's been shuffled around from the top line down to the 4th line and back to the top line. And that's just the way the Boston Bruins have started the year. They've really moved guys around. They've had a lot of injuries. It's tough to get situated when so many guys are in and out of the lineup.
Bruins now take over. Don Sweeney and Steve Stayals on defense. The Whalers have Kapanen, Rice, and Ranheim out. They combine for the game's only goal. The bouncer, Jason Mazzotti, leaves it for Gerald Diddick. He takes a hit from Trent McCleary. Along the board, Tocchet centers in front, tipped by McCleary, really hit, knocked down by Featherstone, and that allowed Mazzotti a chance to freeze the puck.
Front, Feathers already knocked McCleary down, and Mazzotti jumps on the puck. That is exactly the way the Whalers have to play defensively. Be strong and aggressive and let Mazzotti see it. Much better game from Featherstone so far tonight.
Oh, yeah. You see the very colorful mask of Jason Mazzotti. That's one of my favorites in the league. It's kind of a new look with those.
A lot of masks tonight.
Killer whales. That's right. Fits right in with the theme of tonight's presentation. A little Halloween action. 9:26 left to go in the second period. 1-0, the Whale on top. Commander's shot. Mazzotti again melts it down. So Jason Mazzotti has now looked at 8 shots on goal, and this one off the stick of Matthias Tenander. You see it here, and Mazzotti saw it all the way, but good poise by Jason Mazzotti as he gets a face-off in his own zone. He can kind of sense the Whalers need to slow things down a bit, and that's exactly what he did. 9:19 left to go in the second period. Wesley from behind the net. Around the boards it goes by Grimson all the way back in Boston territory. Tenander back to fetch. Matthias Tenander around the boards and out to center ice. Jansen's in the neutral zone. He has gone without a point in his last 6. Gets it deep in the zone. Wesley back to get it. Wesley glasses ahead. Out to neutral ice. Accepted there by Dean Chenault. Under 9 minutes left to go in the middle session. The Bruins scale it deep. Behind the goal, Mazzotti. Watching the Bruins get to it. Luckily, they center in front. Cleaned up by Jansen. Is it out? No. Tenander right on. Loose puck. Covered up by Mazzotti. Well, trouble brewing in that Hartford zone, but Mazzotti's keeping it scoreless from the Bruins' perspective. 8:42 left to go in the second period on 59.
They really lowered the prices.
Most restaurants, they go up. This place, they go down.
I can't get him out unless they're low prices.
Under $10.
Red Lobster introduces new low prices. Now 15 luscious dinners under $10.
You get shrimp, crab, salmon.
Try our succulent shrimp combo. Savory scampi and beer-battered shrimp.
I like shrimp. I'm a shrimp eater.
With salad and Cheddar Bay biscuits, all this just $7.99. New low prices at Red Lobster now.
Then we can even afford dessert. So what a wonderful place.
1-0 the Whalers here at the Fleet Center with 8:42 left. Rick Tocchet behind the net doing what he does best, forechecking. Mazzotti had a play. Great play here by Jansen to get the puck, but he throws it to the blue line. There's a shot right back on Mazzotti. He finds it and holds on for the whistle. So a couple of good plays and a couple of bad plays. Let's put them together and get a good mix.
And we'll amend the shot total. The Bruins have 13 shots on goal thus far. 6 in this period. 4 for the Whalers in the second period. 17-13 in the contest. The Whalers have the edge. Steos now works it inside the line. Knocked down. Offside is whistled at the Boston blue line.
Jason Mazzotti playing a little defense there. I think trying to go back, and Tocchet threw it right out. And Jansen's in good position for centerman. He's right in the slot area. He takes away any chance against with your goalie out of the net, but he just threw it up the boards. Kept in at the point. Mazzotti back to the top of the crease to make the save and then smother the rebound.
30-year-old Bill Ranford. And another quote for you here as you look at Bill Ranford and what he has to say about that game against New Jersey.
Well, that would be a costume if you want to wear that tonight on Halloween.
And there's an interesting stat. 46 saves, 4 without the stick.
Yeah.
Leads the league in that area.
That was unbelievable, that sequence where he made those saves.
He carried the Bruins last year in the second half. That's why they made the playoffs. They lost to Florida in the first round. He's been equally as good here in the early season for Boston. Our all-star goaltender. Dineen takes a seat, pressured by Steos. Sanderson moves in. Here's Donato. He hooks Donato. Play continues. The Whalers get away with one, and Dineen almost tips one on goal. Nolan Pratt moves up on the play. Behind the net, Steve Steos. Steos now will move it along for Ted Donato. Donato circles away Kevin Dineen. 7:39 left to go in the second period. The Whalers have a 1-0 lead thanks to a goal scored by Paul Ranheim at the 12-minute mark of period 1. And now the play is whistled dead on the two-line pass to stop play.
Two-line pass again. This line. Sanderson, Dineen, Castles doing great forechecking, good board work. Kevin Dineen, we saw him sprawled out, still banging away for it. The play by Nolan Pratt pinching in did not get the puck, and it went the other way, and luckily it was a two-line pass to slow it down. But line's got a lot of speed. Now watch here. Sanderson goes down. Castles throws it in front. Kevin Dineen just misses it, maybe even grazed it a tad. The puck goes by the post. Again, the positioning, this line, they really only played 20 games last year together. They've played maybe four or five this year. They just know where they're going with the puck, and it's tremendous to watch. They've got a lot of confidence and a lot of skill.
Chemistry, so important on a line. They have it. Here's Barry Richter losing. Back the other way come the Whalers. Keith Primo ambling through center ice over the line, going wide on Tamander. The shot body down by Ranford. The rebound sent wide as it's cleaned up defensively. A good play by Waugh to get back in the zone. Primo now behind the net. Matthias Tamander after it. The big Swede sees pressure from Kron and just dumps it out to center ice. Puck played at the line, carried in offside by the Bees.
Now the Bruins have gotten caught a couple of times. They've had some breaks, but they've been offside. We saw the two-line pass just earlier, and then the offside at the blue line. It's tough. You get a little momentum. You get a couple of nice plays. As you see Rick Tocchet having a fine game, playing his aggressive, usual game. But when you try to penetrate the zone, you go offside. You kill the momentum that you've got going for yourself. They've done that quite often tonight.
Rick Tocchet last year acquired from the Los Angeles Kings on January 25 for Kevin Stevens. And again, he, like Ranford, an important part down the stretch.
Yes, definitely. Kevin Stevens not very happy. He said he was told he'd be a Bruin for life and was dealt to L.A. And Rick Tocchet has played very well. He was coming off some back problems and was a iffy situation. Both of them have been hurt. Tocchet is back as usual.
Yeah, Stevens had his contract ripped up, a new one brought out by the Bruins, and they went back on their word. It didn't work out here, so he moved along. Chanel with a shot blocked by Ranheim. Ranheim perseveres, gets it out through center, all the way back in Boston ice.
How many times do we see Ranheim block pucks? It is amazing on the penalty kill and even strength. He blocks the puck, gets in the way all the time, sacrifices himself, breaks up a lot of action around the blue line.
He's a digger. Out to center ice now. Todd Ellick has the puck. Here's Sandy Moger walking in over the line. Don Sweeney has it. Sweeney now holding that puck, dropping it off. Stayall's shot is knocked down by DeMille. Mazzotti looking for it, and Diddick cleans it up in front. Luckily, the Bruins right on it. Another shot taken just wide. That one was flanked on goal by Todd Ellick. Behind the net, it's Gerald Diddick. Diddick now looks for help, picks an opening. A smart play here to ice the puck, relieve pressure, and get a face-off back in the Hartford zone.
Yeah, not a bad play whenever you have a little difficulty in the situation there, as we saw Stu Grimson right through his crease trying to get to the player, and Jason Mazzotti getting knocked and bowled over. When you have some troubles in your own zone, nothing wrong with throwing it down the ice, sorting itself out, and having that face-up, relying on your centerman. Watch, if you see at the bottom of your screen, here's Stu Grimson. He has his man, but then he tries to go through the crease, knocks Mazzotti down, and Diddick just fires it to the boards. Again, here it is. He's trying to climb the ladder. He can't get over him. Diddick fires it away. I guess, what's that, you know, A to B, B, you go straight through, you take the shortest cut. Well, he couldn't get over the net, and he tried to climb Jason Mazzotti, and everything sorted itself out with the icing.
Yes, sir. The shortest distance between 2 points is?
I don't know. You tell me.
A straight line.
Oh, okay. I've never done that.
So you've learned that today.
A lot.
I noticed, as Wesley will send it deep in the zone. I hang around with you quite a bit, and I've noticed that. Puck right out in front. Jansen scores! Mark Jansen's with 5:34 left to go in the second period, and the Whalers lead it by 2.
First goal of the year for Mark Jansen's. An excellent goal. This line, as we said and talked about, a little bit more ice time tonight. A spark plug line, big line, creating opportunities. The Grim Reaper on Halloween is going into the corner here. He's going to throw it out in front. It deflects into the slot area, and Jansen's one-timer through the legs of Billy Ranford. Kelly Chase creating a little havoc in front. Again, Jansen's there, fires it, and Chase and Grimson right in on the play. You know, when you're playing a line like that, it's a huge plus when you score a goal, and these guys are awfully happy with that.
Behind the net, Richter now works it ahead, and the Whalers jump on it. Jansen's, who has just scored, knocks it low. The goal coming at 14:26. Behind the net, the Bruins take over. 2-0. The Whalers now have a big goal. Pad goal scored here in the late stages of period 2. Barry Richter over the line, tries to get by Adam Burt. Behind the net, Wesley plays the body on Ted Donato. Donato has the puck. Oates right out in front. They score! Steve Hines all alone. Nothing Mazzotti could do about that. That's what you call an answer goal. The Bruins come right back and score with 4:54 left to go in the second period.
It's always a big shift after you score a goal. When you score a goal, the next shift is very, very important, and it just happened to be Jansen's line again. Watch good coverage in front, but all alone. A great goal, a good give and go by the Boston Bruins. You have to sort things out. Wesley is his man. Oates again, a fine centerman, throws it in front to Hines, and he's got it all alone. Nobody around him. He just redirects the puck on a fine pass by Oates and throws it into the empty net. But a huge shift for Boston to come right back and score and answer the Whalers' goal, the second goal for the Whalers.
After Jansen scored from Grimson and Jason Mazzotti at 14:26, Steve Hines gets his 7th goal of the season at 15:06. And the Bruins have life. Tuckett shot whistled wide. Puck is loose. Coffey looking for it. The Bruins going after it. This is an important stage of the game right now for the Whalers. The Bruins have scored, and now the Whalers have to do something about it.
Well, in the game where Boston beat New Jersey, they scored 3 goals in 2 minutes, and they're right back at it now and playing very strong and aggressive hockey. Time to settle down. Don't be afraid to ice it or throw it in the crowd to settle things down. Take your time with the puck.
The Bruins get it deep in the Whalers zone. Oates and Donato help out, and they score. Tuckett staked out in the slot. You could feel it coming. And the Bruins tie it at 2.
You certainly can feel the atmosphere change here. These guys are back on the board after that first goal, and they come right back. Great forechecking. Rick Tocchet, we talked about a lot tonight. We said he had to score some goals. He's played aggressive hockey. Now watch here, down low. Nolan Pratt has his man, but the puck's going to squirt loose out to Rick Tocchet in the slot, and he just rips one. I don't know if Mazzotti was screened by Paul Coffey, but a quick release. Again, the puck's low. Stumple fighting for it, thrown out in front, and Tocchet just rips it so quickly we didn't even get to see him. And it is now 2-2. So from 2-0 to 2-2 in a matter of no time whatsoever. The Bruins are back in it, and the crowd is fired up.
49 seconds later, Tocchet gets the goal, his 5th. After Hines put the Bruins on the board at 15:06. They bounce one in on Bill Ranford. He'll cover up. Whalers need to regroup. We're tied at 2 on WB 59.
Champ, there's something wrong with my car. Could you take a look?
I'll check it out. You need suspension work. Better see the experts at Meineke.
Meineke does suspensions?
Meineke doesn't just do mufflers and brakes. They do complete undercar care.
Now, buy any Gabriel gas shock or gas strut at Meineke's regular low price. Get the second one at 25% off. This is a limited time offer, so hurry. At Meineke, you're not going to pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
Look, Mom, I'm having toast and jelly beans for breakfast.
Life is a compromise. Fortunately, it's also a cereal.
Pancakes, cupcakes, they're practically twins.
It's Cinnamon Life, the wholesome, whole grain, good for them Quaker Oat cereal.
See, it's wholesome.
And Cinnamon Life, the cinnamon delicious, cinnamon sweet, cinnamon cereal your kids will happily eat.
I trade you half my donut for half your cereal. You're alive.
Life is a compromise.
Fortunately, it's also a cereal.
Well, we're going to see Joseph Stumple with Nolan Pratt winning the battle on the boards. And Roy comes in and fires it right into the slot. And Tocchet with a quick release. Paul Coffey caught in between. Should maybe have been a little bit further out. But sometimes when it's a 3-on-2 down low like that, you have to watch where you are. And Tocchet just ripped it. Big goal for him. 5th goal of the year.
So Rick Tocchet, the veteran. 32 years of age, out of Scarborough, Ontario.
That's where I'm from.
Nice place. That's why I gave a little plug there. Featherstone shot deflects wide. Ranford will leave it behind the goal. DeMille, middle of the ice surface, they work it out. Didick is there, sending one across for Glenn Featherstone. 3:39 left to go in the second period. Tied at 2. As Hines and Tocchet come storming back after Jansen's gave the Whalers a 2-0 lead. Didick with a shot outside the line, so the play is whistled offside.
Well, a quick offside would have been a good situation for the Whalers. Primo in front, Nicolishin in front. Gerald Didick wearing a shield. A little bit of a face injury. Missing his partner Alexander Godinnik with a back injury. Those two have played so well together at the start of the year. Godinnik with the back injuries missed the last couple of games. Tried to play 3 games ago, and again a situation where they have some extra guys, so let them rest it and get 100%.
And the Bruins are going with a young defense. Raymond Bourque out with a shoulder injury, still day-to-day. Did skate this morning. And Kyle McLaren, their young bright star, 7th Player Award winner last year. And he is out with a Charlie horse, also day-to-day. He skated today. Featherstone shot blocked in front. Nicolation with it. Shot absorbed by Tamander. Loose this way to Mile. Good play ahead for Sandy Moger. Todd Ellick has the puck, dropping it off from Moger. Moger tries to return the favor. It's broken up by Nicolation. Out to center, they advance out with 17 minutes gone in the second period. Deadlocked at 2. Glenn Featherstone in his own zone. Works it across for Gerald Diddick. Diddick for Andre Nicolation. Nicolation now the lead feed just by Primo. Broken up defensively by the Bruins and out. Ellick pushes ahead. Ellick gets by Diddick. Moves in the zone. Ellick down low, punched by Featherstone. It's a mile there for the Bruins. Behind the cage, we see the loose puck. Ellick on it. Todd Ellick whips it in front. Broken up. The Whalers have it, but Cron lost it. Don Sweeney covers up.
That was the difference right there, Johnson. Good defensive coverage, and the Whalers end up getting the puck and getting out of the zone instead of scrambling around and giving the puck away.
Here's Oates over the line. Walking with it. Oates is right in. Passing. Donato gets to it. It goes wide. Oates has it. He stuffs one home.
Well, Steve Hines was in the crease, but I believe he was knocked down by Gerald Diddick. And Adam Oates showing some great patience with the puck. Watch Oates hold on and hold on. Featherstone goes down. Diddick's got his man in front. The pass comes across. And Donato gets it back to Oates behind the net. And look at the little room he's got on the corner, and he slides it in. Some good penetration. Now look in that picture. We're going to see it again here. Oates has the puck. He's going to throw it in front. We see the first shot, the pass across. Notes, look at all the Whalers. There's 5 Whalers in that picture there. Sometimes in desperation, come back and do too much. You leave your feet, you get in trouble. Donato throws it behind the net to Oates, and he comes around and stuffs it in. But again, all the Whalers are back in a 5-foot radius there. And that is asking for trouble.
Uncle Mo. We're not talking about Paul Maurice. We're talking about momentum. It's on the side of the Boston Bruins right now. Adam Oates gets the goal, his 5th at 17:39. And we have a whistle here to stop play as once again the Whalers were offside at the Boston line.
Well, the Whalers had a tough time winning here in Boston, and we're in a new facility. It's not the old Garden that we're all used to, which was tough to play in. Dreaded, although it was a lot of fun. Have not won in 5 games, and the last win was a while back, April 14th of '94.
Yep.
And a great first half by the Whalers. It looked like they had the game in hand, had some opportunities early in the first period to maybe really put it out of hand, but got to give credit. These guys, the Boston Bruins, have fought back and taken the game over in the latter half of the second period.
And in the previous 17 years in the NHL, the Whalers have won only 12 times in Boston. 12, 43, and 5 coming into this one. Looking to turn that around and looked pretty good when it was 2-0, and now they have to work hard to dig out of this hole. Benin again, the Whalers cross the line offside. The helpers on the last goal by Oates, Donato, and Don Sweeney. Again, the time of that marker, 17:39.
The Whalers played so well for maybe 30 minutes of the game, but again, when things are going a little bit easy, they get a little bit too fancy. Get away from that forecheck, get away from throwing the puck in and doing the unskilled plays, just working hard, and you get a little too fancy. That it can really hurt you. And what Boston did was pick up the pace themselves and get the puck and throw it in. Great forechecking, and it turned over 3 goals quickly, right back in the game. And that is their game. Boy, they don't do anything that fancy. Adam Oates, by far the best puck handler, but they work hard and they have to outman you and they have to win the battles, and they do that. So we see Andrew Castles, like Oates, is very good with the puck. I look for this line to maybe get a little spark going again. They played well. We see in his 8 games, he's got 8 points. Had 2 assists last night for the Islanders. Some very nice passing.
And he extended his point streak. 5 consecutive games, 2 goals and 4 assists. His efforts last night so far off the score sheet.
Also had points in 7 of the 8 games played so far.
Right. Nolan Pratt shot tipped, ran for the save. The puck there for the taking. They score! Well, on cue. Thank you very much. Andrew Castles gets the goal. And the Whalers have answered that guy's club.
Well, the key there, Andrew Castles won the faceoff, and anytime you win the faceoff and get possession, things will happen. He's in front, tips the puck, Kevin Dineen gets a poke at it, and Castles, he has a wedge. That stick is unbelievable for a centerman, the way he can pass it, but he gets that puck right up. He wins the draw. Sanderson back to Pratt. Pratt does what he does best, throws it on net. Little deflection by Castles. Dineen right there. Look at this wedge shot. Wow, right under the bar, and the Whalers are right back in it. Wide open game now.
They work over the line, do the Bruins. Stumpo fans on it. Coffey after it. Here's Tocchet. Rick Tocchet now gets it deep in the zone. Castles is third at 18:31. The Whalers have tied the game at 3. Puck played at center ice. Great hockey game for our Virgin Voyage on WB 59. Hope you're enjoying it as the puck goes into the crowd.
Funny how the pace can change so quickly. We had a tight checking game for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and all of a sudden somebody opened the floodgates and it's end-to-end action. Some good forechecking and great chances at each end.
As you see, the Bramalea, Ontario native Andrew Castles. Remind you of some upcoming home games for the Whalers. And there's some good opponents on the schedule beginning Saturday night. Los Angeles Kings come in. We'll tell you about it in just a sec as play is underway. But take our word for it. Good stuff coming at you at the Hartford Civic Center beginning Saturday night with the LA Kings. Todd Ellick out to center. These guys will also be in next week. Sweeney over the line with a shot. Cleaned away by Jason Mazzotti. Rice tries to advance out to center. Here's Kapanen. Sammy Kapanen starts his engine over the line, going wide on Stales. Holding the puck, hurling away. Kapanen now looks for help. Still whining with it. The shot blocked in front by Don Sweeney, who knocks down Steve Rice. Sweeney gets it back with under 30 seconds left to go in the second period. Deadlocked at 3. From DeMaio on the tape of Rick Tocchet. Tocchet now lost it. Melted down by Mazzotti.
Smart play by Mazzotti getting that whistle. Late in the period, 20 seconds left. No chances whatsoever. As we look at the upcoming home games, John.
LA on Saturday, Boston on the 6th, Detroit with Brendan Shanahan on the 8th, Buffalo on November 9th, 7 p.m. they face off. Tickets available at the Hartford Civic Center box office or by calling 1-800-WHALERS.
A lot of games coming up for the Whalers. They got to get into a bit of a rhythm, and we're seeing again tonight some inconsistencies. It looked good for quite a while, but this is what we've seen the last 3 or 4 games where they played well in spurts and then really lost it. And the other team let the other team back in the games.
Off the draw, Sweeney shot blockered down by Mazzotti. Nolan Pratt, Kevin Dineen get the assist on the last goal that tied the game. Over the line now, Adam Oates holding, wheeling it low. Here's Paul Coffey. Paul Coffey now will bank it ahead. It's chipped ahead by Andre Nicolation. The horn sounds, and Billy Gardner, quickly your thoughts on the second period.
Wow, what a definitely a different last 10 minutes of the second period from the first 30 minutes. Tight checking game the first 30, but it opened up, and Boston Bruins showed what they're made of. They came up with 3 goals after being down 2-0. Now we got a dogfight for the third.
Well, we'll talk to the boss when we come back. The general manager of the Whalers, Jim Rutherford, will join us live here at the Fleet Center. The story after 2 periods. The Hartford Whalers 3, the Boston Bruins 3. You're watching Hartford Whalers hockey on WB 59.
Happy Halloween from WB 59.
Buckled down and ready for the start of the third period here at the Fleet Center in Boston. John Forsland and Bill Gardner with you. 3-3 the count. We'll look at the numbers after 2 periods of play. Shots on goal and those scoring chances still favoring the Whalers.
Well, the Whalers still have more shots and scoring chances, you just said, John. And it's been a wide open game. I think both teams now, after seeing the power play shots, the Whalers are at 4 and none for the Boston Bruins. I think both teams want to tighten up. It's not their style. They have to play sound defensive hockey. And when they get a break, take advantage of that. But I don't think they both want to play wide open and get into a crapshoot here of the last goal wins.
Puck is cleared deep in the Boston zone. Right off the draw, Don Sweeney around the boards and out as the Whalers take over in the person of Jeff Sanderson. For Andrew Castles, his goal at 18:31 of the second period has tied the game at 3. Dineen now at center ice. Puck deep in the Boston zone. Here's Sweeney. Sweeney now angles off the wall out to center ice. And with it is Adam Oates. Oates at the line is hit hard by Featherstone. Steve Stayos works in the zone. Stayos now behind the net. It goes to the corner for Steve Hines. Hines now walks out in the slot. He's checked and chased by Adam Burt. And now Andrew Castle's out to center. It's a 3-on-2. Here's Sanderson at the line, dropping it off for Deneen. Looking for Sanderson, but Don Sweeney hung in there and has the puck. Sweeney now across for Steve Hines. Hines in the zone, tries to get by Paul Coffey and does. Hines over the line, now sends one on net, but getting back defensively is Keith Primo. Primo pushes ahead for Coffey. Off the stick of Nolan Pratt, and the Bruins take over in the neutral zone with 18:55 left to go in the third period. Over the line, Oates now coming up on Coffey. Here's Nolan Pratt. Going down in a pile behind the net is Jean-Yves Roy. Here's Robert Cron. Cron out to center ice. He'll risk one deep in the zone off the corner wall. Back to get it is Barry Richter. Richter takes a crunch. It goes deep. Bruins now take over with Tamander. Diaz Tamander takes a hit. Featherstone looking for the puck, moving up on the play. There's Cron. Cron now. Options behind the goal. Ranford helps it along. Top of your screen, Nicolishin after it. Here's Joseph Stumple. Stumple a long feed. Knocked down by Featherstone. Good play. Featherstone now off for Robert Cron. He'll think twice about it. Now get it deep in the Boston end. Coming up on 2 minutes gone in the third period. We're tied at 3. Our very first game of 20 here on Channel 59. Puck goes deep into the Hartford zone. Paul Coffey is there, scooping ahead and out of play.
Good action again at both ends of the rink. Steve Hines with his 7th goal. Could be a surprise, I guess, for everybody in the league. We see him sitting on the bench. 7th goal, big goal. Playing with Adam Oates, so you're going to get plenty of opportunities tonight. He has gotten quite a few. Adam Oates is the type of centerman like Andrew Castles that likes to have the puck in every opportunity and can find guys, just like putting the puck through the old needle. He can do it. Steve Hines there, as you've seen, 10 games, has 7 goals. Not a bad start for him.
No, Steve Hines up in the first line, and he's been a checker for most of his career, but former U.S. Olympian, highly thought of. Adam Burt sends one wide. Close call there as he moved up on the play nicely. Ranheim along the boards. The Bruins get to it. Here's Coffey at the point. Screen shot, scores on the deflection. I believe it went off Sweeney in front. It should be Paul Coffey's goal. Rice was in the neighborhood, but hey, what do you say? The Whalers have a 4-3 lead.
Well, again, I like defensemen that don't wind up and throw the puck with a big slapper. They just fired on net quickly, and Paul Coffey does that. And I don't know if Stephen Rice gets a piece, or as you said, Sweeney, a giveaway deep in the zone by the Boston Bruins, and it does hit Sweeney, I believe, the skate blade, and redirects, fools Billy Ranford. Beers throws it out. It's just deflected by Alec. The shot on net, and it is redirected, I think, in front by Sweeney. Stephen Rice there also, but a big goal, as you said. A harmless play results in a goal by just firing on the net. Good things can happen.
We'll wait for the official word. It could be Coffey. It's just like last night. Or Steve Rice. Clear it deep to the Bruins. Icing is called here with 17:37 left to go in the third period.
Well, this a line of Rice, Ranheim, and Kapanen have been very good tonight. 3 guys that haven't got a lot of ice time as of late. The flu for Kapanen. Rice sat out last night. Ranheim not usually playing a lot more of a checking line, getting their chance tonight and really forechecking very well and owning the puck. Good line. Stephen Rice, great forechecker, big guys. Sammy Kapanen in the middle, a little bit different, dicing the puck around. Paul Maurice comes right back with Castle's line to see if they can get another one right away here. Maybe blow the game open a little bit.
Yet to make the official announcement, although it does look like Steve Rice will get credit for the goal. If so, his first point in 6 games, make it now 7. He has only 1 assist on the season. The puck is scaled in the Hartford bench by Featherstone. So Coffey gets a lone assist on the goal, 2:14 the time, and Steve Rice on the score sheet.
Well, good for Steve Rice. Glad to see it. Gets his first goal, as you said, John. But again, Coffey throwing it on net. Rice right there. It was hard to see it. I think it may have hit Sweeney first of all, and then Rice off Rice also. But good things happen when you keep it simple, and that is what Paul Coffey did there. There was no need to fire the puck hard. He threw it on net. There was a little bit of commotion in front of the net with Sweeney and Rice. Redirection, easy play, easy goal, big goal.
Stayos back in his own zone. Steve Stayos works it ahead out to center ice, knocked down by Deneen, held in by Sanderson. Donato gives chase. Ed Donato now looks around. Banks went ahead, but capturing the puck is Gerald Diddick. Over the line now, he walks in, pulls it loose off the boards. Sanderson there. Sanderson just scoops it into the crowd for a stoppage in play. The Whalers, thanks to the goal by Steve Rice, have the 4-3 lead here at the Fleet Center. Back with more right after this.
It's just a natural fact of life. As we get older, some of our parts don't work as well. Fortunately, with older cars, you can get those parts replaced at Meineke, where we take good care of every car, young or old, mufflers, brakes, CV joints, shocks, and struts. High-quality parts and service at a reasonable price. Meineke keeps cars of all ages running like new. Too bad they can't do anything about this 1949 classic.
At Meineke, you're not going to pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
Jimmy, light up the court. And hit the radio, man.
Every day, car batteries are put to the test. And every day, America's most trusted lives up to its name. Die Hard. Tried and true.
16:56 left, 4-3. The Whalers over the Bruins, and you see Robert Cron. He's got one shot tonight, but in the last 2 games he's at 6 apiece, and he does lead the team in shots with only 1 goal, and they'll eventually go in for him.
I like those 4 guys in great Halloween costumes.
Look like us.
Wall Street people. Puck loose along the boards. Sent deep in the zone. Richter moves it along. Waugh is there. We see it come out to center ice. Bruins on the attack. Stumple loading the gun, but it's broken up. It rolls in on Mazzotti. He'll hang on for the draw.
Great play again by Keith Primo in a 1-on-1 situation. Wesley back. Primo fighting back and lifting the stick of Stumple. Watch Primo. Doesn't dog it. Comes back hard and just gets a stick underneath Stumple's. Wesley there is in the way also. Mazzotti freezing it up. Both ends of the rink. Keith Primo. That is a great addition. Good on face-offs. Fights hard in the corners. The big guy wins a lot of battles.
His next goal will be his 100th in the NHL. He has 2 goals and 4 assists in his last 5. The Toronto native, Keith Primo. Behind the net now. Pratt moves it along for Rice. Nolan Pratt gets it back. Coffey covers up. He's knocked down from behind by Tocchet. Jean-Yves Waugh. Richter at the point. Fanning on one. It's still in the zone. Held in by the Bruins. Here's Pratt. Up the boards again. Whalers trying to work it out. Primo jamming there, and they finally freeze it for yet another face-off. And Nolan Pratt, I think, a little bit jittery back there on defense. A tough go here. He hasn't played in a long time. His second game of the season in Boston.
Well, again, I talked a little bit during the last couple of games about how much time you really do have. And Nolan Pratt, really just his 3rd game playing against a team that forechecks very well, has more time than he believes or thinks. And again, you got to look at your teammates that are on the ice. They got to help you out and talk to you. And Nolan Pratt throwing the puck a couple of times and losing it. Maybe a little bit hesitant in the corners about being checked, but it's an overall team effort. Communication is a big part to help a young kid out. You got to tell him and make him realize that he does have time and be patient with the puck. We've seen him play much better the first game of the year. He played awfully solid. But tonight having a little bit of trouble, and you got to have some teammates that can help you out a little bit. And I think he'll get through it, though. With Paul Coffey on his side, anybody will get through it.
Brandheim out to center ice. You're absolutely right on that one. As the puck is sent deep in the zone, Millette is there. Kapanen moves over. Knocked down by Troy Millette. Signed as a free agent by the Bruins, and the puck now is worked ahead. Kapanen will wheel it into the crowd. We have another stoppage in play.
Well, a good pace for the Whalers.
The Whalers also have, Billy, a great competition going on now with the players. With the extras out tonight. Jeff O'Neill not playing. Sammy Kapanen playing center ice. Steve Rice back in the lineup. Of course, Emerson being hurt. And then Malik, the extra defenseman. So that gives Paul Maurice, Tommy Webster, Randy Ladouceur, and Steve Weeks a chance to rotate some people in there.
There's nothing wrong with competition for jobs. In the past, even when I played during the 80s, it was more along the lines of who made the most money got to play no matter how they played.
Right.
And I didn't agree with that, and I was outspoken about it. And I really believe now that you have to have a competition. You got to drive players in some regards, sit them out, make them notice. We're going to see a fight here on the top of the screen.
Troy Millette, Kelly Chase.
Kelly Chase, right into it.
And Millette gets the early edge, just rabbit punching the back of Chase's helmet. Millette now trying to do the old Stan Jonathan routine by lifting Chase up. But Chase is sturdy on his skates, of course, and right now being wedged up against the Hartford bench. Chase trying to get free. Of course, Chase has not played all season. His fight with Phil Crow of Ottawa, the first preseason game, broken thumb. That's the right hand that he's using now on Millette. Good recovery by Chase. And this is what Chase can do. He'll fight back. He has a lot of staying power, and he pounds away at the end.
Wow. Good action. That's a good fight in your first game back. As you see Troy Millette going over, had the upper hand at the start, was pushing Chase around, but as you just said, Chase hung in there and really came back strong, got Millette to the ground and gave him a nice right to the chops down low. Big fight as we see it right off the faceoff. Kapanen on the faceoff with McCleary. This is their tough line. Coffey gets the puck, but at the top of the screen, we're going to see the action begin. It's really not even in any bearing. Ranheim has the puck, and it is at the other side of the ice surface. Probably some small talk back and forth. We're going to see it again. This is near the end as he dumps Millette, and watch his right. Boom.
Oh.
Hopefully that hand is okay. Get a little ice bag on it. That is knowing your role.
You're right about that.
And that's what makes hockey a great sport, because it was a little bit different. You have a certain job to do, and it's not defined by a position. It is defined by what the coach wants and what your limitations are, and Kelly Chase knows why he's in the league.
Troy Millette trying to stir it up.
Right?
That's exactly right. Officer Chase from the Hartford precinct at work. It's Troy Millette who's trying to inspire his club, and Chase ready to answer that. And that's what Stu Grimson was talking about in our first intermission, about the Oilers being a team ready to answer those captains.
Well, in the past they haven't. They've been, maybe as we talked about Boston, a little bit softer, but they have the boys now that can wheel and deal and punch and throw. And it helps the team. I'll tell you, it gives the team so much confidence when you have guys on the ice that are not afraid of mixing it up, because it opens the ice up for the better handsy type people, gives them some breathing room out there, and gives everybody some confidence.
Steve Kasper having McCleary and Odgers out there in the last shift against the Castles line, trying to stir it up. They're running around a bit. Now, because the home team, of course, gets the last change, I don't think that's a matchup that Paul Maurice would like to see.
Sure. The big Keith Primo.
Primo back on the ice with Nicolishin and Kron. 14:55 left to go in this third period. The Whalers have taken a 4-3 lead. Steve Rice scoring at 2:14. Commander keeps the zone, kicking that puck deep. Oates and Hines in the corner. Featherstone around the boards. There's Donato. Donato right back this way. Hines takes a seat. He tripped over the goal. Now Nicolishin out to center. Breakaway time for Robert Cron. All alone on Bill Ranford. Ranford makes the save, and then another. Great goaltending by Bill Ranford on Robert Cron.
Look at his legs. They're outstretched post to post. The second shot, the save was spectacular. Robert Cron has had plenty of opportunities. I said most shots on the team. Plenty of great chances to score. Now watch this. He shoots one here. Tries to go tweeners. Gets his own rebound. Now watch Ranford. Well, I'm going to say Cron threw it into the mitt there. But a great play as he held his balance. Here's the rebound. And his mitt is there. Robert Cron throws it right back in. He's had so many opportunities to score this year and has been snake bitten. He only has the one goal. Look at that glove save, though. Spectacular. Keeps his team right in it. Robert Cron's got to be shaking his head. And there it goes.
He showeth and taketh away. That being the 5-hole. And the puck rolling a bit on Cron, too. That's not an easy thing.
Great burst of energy, though, and speed. Pull away and get the great chance.
Now Rice tries to center for Kapanen. Don Sweeney takes over. 14:18 left to go in the third period. 4-3 the Whalers. Here's Kapanen. Ahead for Rice over the line. Rice lost it. Bruins take over. Carrying through center ice, Jeff Odgers. In deep, Nolan Pratt mishandled it, rolled in on Mazzotti, and he hangs on for a faceoff.
Follow the bouncing puck. Nolan Pratt couldn't get the handle. Mazzotti bounces on it right away. Smart play. Now we're going to see Odgers throwing it in, trying to get by Rice, and throws it in. Watch that puck. Boom, boom, boom. Remember the old cartoons where they used to have a little sing-along and the bouncing ball? You're not old enough for that.
Yes, I am.
Mazzotti taking no chances whatsoever. Let's see in this third period how strong defensively the Whalers can play and show us that they are a third period club.
6 minutes gone in this third period. Wesley shows some perseverance getting the puck out to neutral ice. The Bruins take over. You're looking at Todd Ellick. Ellick now through center will get it deep in the Hartford zone. Mazzotti kicks it along. Castles is there chipping for Sanderson. Jeff now will lug it out. Sanderson going cross ice with it. Very elusive skater. He crosses the line, lets it go off the skate boot of Dean Chenault. Behind the net, Sanderson has the puck. Sanderson walking with it, still holding. Great effort here by Sanderson. He keeps his zone, gets it on goal. Ranford the save as he came out to the top of his crease and kicked it aside. Castles for Deneen with a shot. Riser over the top of the net. The Bruins take over.
Well, Kevin Deneen, a great shot there, just poked up and over the net. Played so well, and again, Sanderson with his speed, using the whole zone to move the puck and then firing on the net. This line, again, not to overstate the fact that they have been so good moving the puck together as a unit out there.
Andre Nicolishin over the line. Nicolishin, the open man, Primo right in, and Ranford again. With the stop, maybe getting help from the post.
Great feed by Nicolishin to the long reaching Keith Primo, just missing.
Puck is cleared in the zone. Richter covering up, pressured by the forechecking of Keith Primo. Around the boards it goes and out to center ice. Joseph Stumple coming up on Featherstone. He's hit hard by Nicolishin. Great open ice hit by Andre Nicolishin. Back the other way come the Whalers. Robert Cron will pitchfork it deep. Ranford now will set it up for the defense. Lugging it out, Matthias Tamander. Tamander at center ice. Angles off the wall, deep in the zone. Mazzotti out to play it. Help it along for Rice. He has an open man in Kapanen. Sharp breakout for the Whalers. Sammy Kapanen at the line. Good poke check by Don Sweeney. Hines is there. In the neutral zone, the Bruins take over. It's sent in by Ted Donato. It goes to the corner. Featherstone there to play it. Up the boards by Hines. Not out. Held in by Steos. In deep now, it's Steve Rice. Locked loose, gathered in, and worked out by Ranheim. Kapanen off to the races. Centering one back for Ranheim. Broken up by Steve Steos. Steos now out to center. 11:48 left to go in the third period. Over the line, they attack through the Bruins. Oates lost it. Wesley with it. Up the boards now. They fight for it. And working with it, Donato. Here's Oates. Curling away. Adam Oates. So good with that puck. Up top it goes. Don Sweeney holding, faking. Losing it. Burt after him. Adam Burt with a hit. And now in front, we have a whistle to stop play, I believe, matching penalties. We'll tell you about it when we come back. 11:30 left to go in this period. The Whalers lead it by 1 on WB 59.
And today's lesson is fun at Burger King.
Yes! I have been chosen. Farewell, my friends. I go on to a better place.
Look who's landed at Burger King. Toy Story toys from Disney's awesome adventure Toy Story, now on video. You can collect all 8 new toys, one with every Kids Club meal.
Burger King Kids Club. Great food, cool stuff, kids only.
Mama's got the night of daddy's running the show. You wanna keep me happy is what you gotta know. I want the blues, Kraft macaroni and cheese, the blue box blues.
Kids want the one in the blue box because it's the cheesiest. Kraft cheese and macaroni.
Well, daddy wants to please me, he's only got to cheese me. I've got the blues.
Andre Nicolishin with 2 great plays at both ends of the rink as he controls the puck, cuts across the blue line and finds Keith Primo. Look at this pass, throws it through. Primo goes to the forehand and just misses here. And at the other end, on the same shift, Tocchet throws it up to Stumple. Stumple cuts across, and watch Andre Nicolishin. Boom, chakalaka. Big hit by Andre Nicolishin at both ends of the rink. A fine pass and play, and then a big hit for him.
Big hit by Andre Nicolishin. The matching penalties. Wesley for roughing. Hines for high sticking at 8:30. Right off the draw, Mazzotti says no on that bid. Close call there. It's four-side on the ice surface, excluding goalkeepers. Burt moves it ahead for Kevin Deneen. He'll wipe it in. Around the boards it goes. Top of your screen. Richter is there. Where's the puck?
Funny hop.
It's in the crowd. no further play.
Running around the boards, up the stick, up the ladder, and over the glass.
We have some scoring changes, lots of scoring changes. On the goal by Janssens, they gave assists to Mazzotti and Grimson initially. Change Mazzotti, add Wesley. So Wesley and Grimson on the goal by Janssens. Then on the goal by Castles at the end of the second period, it was Pratt and Deneen originally. Now it's Pratt and Sanderson. And on the last goal, Rice's goal to give the Whalers the lead, Coffey was given an assist, but it did go off Don Sweeney. So on the deflection by Rice, it's an unassisted goal.
And the first goal is a Hartford Whaler for Paul Coffey. As I said a few times, it was just a simple play, harmless play. But sometimes when you throw it on net, weird things happen, weird bounces, and that did definitely glance off Sweeney's skate and go the opposite way through Ranford's legs.
Out to center now, Tamander. Tamander will wheel it deep in the zone. Around the boards it goes. Ellick gives chase. Ellick is hit hard by Sanderson. He centers in front, holds all alone. Great play by Adam Burt. And we have an injured Whaler behind the play. It's Keith Primo, slow to get up. Keep an eye on that.
A little high stick, I think, from Todd Ellick as he's going up.
Ellick now in the zone, holding that puck, walking right in. Mazzotti! Tough on that one. The rebound set high by Barry Richter. The Whalers get back. Nicoletian has the puck and back out to center right. 1:05 left to go in the matching minors. 10:33 left to go in regulation time. The Whalers up by 1. Coffey this way for Sanderson. Sanderson at the line, trying to go wide on Tamander. He does. Sanderson in with it. Shoots. Ranford the save and the rebound. Covered up by Adam Oates. Back the other way come the Bruins. You're looking at Ted Donato over the line holding that puck. Donato stripped of the puck. Diddick sees it. Gerald Diddick now will lug it out. Diddick with no friends to pass to, tries to get it deep. It's knocked down by Sweeney. Then Diddick plays the body hard on Don Sweeney. Whalers on a change. Castles pounces on the puck. Castles tries to feather inside for Cron. It's broken up defensively by the Bruins with 27 seconds left to go in the matching minors.
Well, I'm afraid it isn't, and actually I thought it would tighten up a little bit, but it is going back and forth. Some great chances offensively by both clubs.
The Whalers converge on Oates. Here's Donato. Ted Donato jumps it off for Staios. Staios tries to get by Cron. He does, but lost the puck. In the corner now, it's Andrew Castles. Castles saucers the puck for Glenn Featherstone. Featherstone now will lug it out. 9:33 left to go in the third, and Featherstone a smart play with Hutch sending it deep in the zone so the Whalers can change on the go. Here's Steve Staios. Staios now from his own zone through center ice on the tape of Jean-Yves Roy. Roy now circling with it and getting it deep for Tocchet. Tocchet is pressured by Kapanen but lost it to Stumple. Stumple will track it down. A good look from ice level, but a blind pass comes all the way out to neutral ice.
Well, you work hard for the puck. The Boston Bruins did along the boards there, and then a blind pass by Stumple, throwing it away.
Here's Kapanen with a shot. Ranford says no. Big turnover there, and a bouncing puck played by Staios. It goes to the corner. Ranheim will cycle it behind the goal. Ranford, no man's land, just pushes it along. Now the Bruins desperately get it out to the checkered stripe. Knocked down by Steve Staios. Staios now sends it slowly back in Hartford ice with 8:45 left to go in regulation time. Here's Paul Coffey with the puck. Long pass right on the tape of Andrew Castles. He waits for his mates. He crosses the line. Castles' shot is blocking the way through. The Bruins gain control. Back the other way they come. Here's Joseph Stumple at the line, cutting with it in front for Tocchet. That doesn't click. And the Whalers take over with Castles. Long lead feed. Deneen is onside. Deneen in the zone gets to it. Deneen now circles away from the defense, holding the puck. Kevin Deneen now getting one on goal, but it's knocked down by Dean Chenoweth, and the Bruins cover up. Chenoweth now on the right side for Rick Tocchet. Tocchet has a goal tonight. He crosses center and scales it in. Knocked down by Burt. Here's Wesley. Good pass for Cron. With momentum, he hits the line. Cron going wide, holding the puck, circling the net. Cron now with good speed goes to the corner. He's checked by Todd Ellick. Tamander gets back up and he has the puck. Matthias Tamander now works it away for Todd Ellick. Big hit by Primo. Primo plays the body on Ellick. The Whalers look for the puck. Tamander up the boards. Diddick pinches in aggressively. A good play here. The Whalers have it. Cron down low for Primo, holding. Up top it goes for Nicoletian. Andre Nicoletian has checked the puck there for the taking. Cron working hard for it, but Ellick gets in there for the Bruins. Out to center. This sent in deep by Sandy Moger. Gerald Diddick back to the Whalers. Touches and hit hard by Sandy Moger. Ellick moves in. He's really given a ride by Primo. Oh, the physical intensity in this one. Nicoletian now scoops out to center.
Aggressive plays by both parties. I think Keith Primo's a little sour of getting that. I think he got a stick in the chicklets and wasn't too happy. He's come out and had a couple of solid hits.
Donato right on. Mazzotti says no. Close call there, and Kapanen will ice the puck.
Big save by Mazzotti. Right time there with some action for the Boston Bruins, who've come on again. End-to-end action, but Mazzotti there to make the big kick save and a beauty.
Great action at the Fleet. Sammy Kapanen and the Whalers hanging on WB 59.
Get ready for the ride of your life. Take it to the streets in a 97 Pontiac Grand Am GT sedan or coupe. It's loaded with dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, air conditioning, and daytime running lamps. After 11 years, more Grand Ams are on the road than any other car in its class. Take it to the streets and test drive a Grand Am GT sedan or coupe at your local Pontiac dealer today. Control the road for $1,000 down and $229 a month in a 97 Grand Am GT sedan or coupe. See your Advantage Pontiac dealer of Connecticut and Western Massachusetts.
In the coolest game on earth, the power forward is a study in contrasting styles. Depending on the situation, a player like Keith Tkachuk employs either resourcefulness and finesse, or when necessary, brute force. Finesse, force, whatever.
Keith Primo got a little bit sour, had a couple of hard hits. And this is what happened behind the net. This is why I think he's a little bit irritated. He makes the hit, but he got the stick, I think, by Alec up in the face area, and it stunned him for a little bit. And as he got to the bench, he was checking the dentures. And here's a good hit first by Moger on Didick, and then watch Alec get it. And then I knew Keith Primo, he wanted to get Alec, because I think it was Alec's stick that got him the first time, and you always or never forget that number.
No, check the number.
Check the number out.
The big guy laying the body on Bruin bodies in the zone. 6 minutes and 58 seconds left to go in the third period. Hartford 4, Boston 3. Rice, the go-ahead goal at 2:14, unassisted here in the third period. Donato crossing sticks with Steve Rice. One cleanly. Hines shot off the mark. Puck is loose, top of your screen. Sweeney, inside it goes. They center in front. Whalers get back. Jansen's is there. Here's Nolan Pratt. Pratt sends it into the crowd right by the referee, Dave Jackson. No further play.
Good play by Jansen's there. Getting back. There was two men from the Boston Bruins alone in front. Not alone. It was a 2-on-1, but Jansen fought his way back through and intercepted the pass. Nolan Pratt got it and rifled one high and hard. Again, instead of making a mistake, get the puck down the ice or throw it into the crowd. The only guy that can't throw it into the crowd is the goaltender. It'll cost you 2 minutes. So anytime you have a problem, get it out. And the out-of-town scoreboard tonight. Only 2 games. You see Toronto over the Islanders 4-2. And those Flyers have fought back down 3-0. Have come back with 4 consecutive goals.
Steve Staios off the draw now. Gets it low. Donato is knocked down here. Steve Hines. Hines out of the corner. Centers one in front. Burt had his stick held, but play continues. Didick now will wheel it right back in Boston territory. 6.5 left to go in regulation. Staios ahead now for Hines. Hines wrists one to the line, knocked down by Wesley. Wesley for Castles. Puck on edge in the neutral zone as we see, and not too pretty right now, but they get it deep in the zone. Don Sweeney is back, pressured by Sanderson. Sanderson now will cycle the puck back behind the net. Steve Staios takes over. He was acquired from the St. Louis Blues in March of last year for Steve Leach. Puck is then banked off the wall, bouncing all the way down to Jason Mazzotti, and his teammates call him Muzzy, who covers up for a faceoff.
Play there by Staios from behind his net, trying some sort of outlet pass. He takes a slap shot, tries to bank it off the boards to get a break, but as you said, it wasn't pretty. But Wesley and Castles and Sanderson all along the boards here pushed the puck and pushed the puck ahead of themselves. Didn't. Here we see the blast right at the Red Dog sign and going all the way down. It's got a little curveball on it, a little knuckle, and Mazzotti says enough of that. Let's freeze that up. Who knows where that could bounce to? And I don't know what he was thinking there. Maybe they have some set plan. Used to work at street hockey, but not on the ice. But again, the Whalers pushing the puck up, pushing the puck. Keep it ahead of you, and don't go back with it at this time of the game in the third period.
Off the face-off, Tamander's shot blockered down by Mazzotti, not out. Tamander loads it up again. It's tipped wide. Puck is loose this way. Bruins after it. Stumple. for Tockett. Tockett now. Checked from behind by Coffey. Puck loose in the corner. Coffey bumped by Stumple. Here's Tockett sending one behind the goal. Loose. Half wall held in by Richter. Behind the net, ball Coffey. Coffey very smartly off the boards. A beautiful pass for Nicolation. Nicolation now will wedge it right back in Boston ice.
What a difference there. A little bit of pressure. Some guys would just fire that around, but Coffey took his time, took a look, and then put it up the boards on the sharp angle. A great play by him there to get out of the zone.
Primo. Roughed up by Stumple. Here's Didick holding, shooting. Ranford makes the glove save.
Billy Ranford again with a glove save. Good shot by Gerald Didick. Nice and low, maybe a foot off the ice. Guys going to the nets, a little bit of a screen, maybe a tip, and is received. Keith Primo fighting hard, winning the battle, throwing it back to Didick. Didick with the shot, and it goes all the way through. It was labeled for the bottom corner, but Ranford outstretched with a good save, as we see again. Oh, it was deflected in front. It did hit something and move up a little bit. Ranford, we're going to see one more time.
Yep.
It definitely did. I think Nicolation got a little piece of that. Good save by Ranford.
5:16. You see the intensity of Gerald Didick. That's the time remaining here in the third period. Sammy Kapanen facing off against Todd Ellick. Ellick wins it. Don Sweeney behind the goal for Stales. Here's Sandy Moger. Mile leaves it off for Moger. Moger now, the British Columbia native. Hit hard! Classic hit from Steve Rice. Here's Stales with a shot. Blocked by Ranheim. Don Sweeney hit by Sammy Kapanen. Didick moves it along. Hustling after Ranheim. He crunches Stales. Oh, good physical play here by this line. Every guy helping out. Featherstone now in the corner with DeMille. They scrum for it. A good look from ice level. They still jam along the boards. As Featherstone now tries to work it ahead. DeMille has it. DeMille now tries to send it deep. He does. It's knocked down. Moger taps it in for Ellick. Back for Moger. Look out. Knocked down in front. And the Whalers advance out.
Good con play by Featherstone there. The puck was in the air, and who knows where it's going to go. He grabbed it and shifted with his body and threw it out of the zone, taking anything away that the Bruins had going.
Oates, Richter, and the shot is knocked down by Sanderson. Sanderson has the loose garbage back out to neutral ice. 4:10 left to go in regulation time. Here's Steve Hines out of Lawrence, Massachusetts. Hines hits the line. Holding that puck, wristing one, gloved by Jason Mazzotti. 4:01 left to go in regulation. Back with it right after this on 59.
In Germany, there is no word for gonzo, no word for rad, righteous, or gnarly. And as far as we can tell, no word for whoa. There is, however, a car. Introducing the Audi A4, a stunning achievement in German engineering, and one wicked ride, dude.
Now at Valenti Audi or Audi of Wallingford.
All Patsy wanted was the free hearing checkup one company offered. But then, was she sold a potentially damaging hearing aid she did not need?
Well, it just didn't occur to me somebody would do that.
Now Consumer Teammate wants answers.
They should have had her see a doctor. She has very good hearing for her age.
Find out whether Patsy will get her $3,100 back and see if other hearing aid companies are doing business this way. Sounds suspicious. Tonight at 11 on News Channel 8.
Oh, it's great to see Steve Rice have those open ice checks. We saw it a couple of games ago. Now watch Sandy Moger cut across Stephen Rice. Boy, if you were at the Anaheim game in Hartford, you saw a similar incident as he hit Valery Karpov and knocked him out. And Valery Karpov is in the injured reserve. Stephen Rice with a very similar play there, a big hit. And boy, can he hit in the open ice. Not an easy task doing that in the open ice. Gets a lot behind it. Sandy Moger pays the price.
Well, there's a guy in Boston who did that better than just about anyone, Johnny Busick, open ice. And you don't see much of it anymore.
It's very difficult. The guys are so much faster now, move the puck so well, and they're slippery. Hard to have those open ice checks.
Puck is cleared all the way back in the zone. The scoring chances in this one, the Whalers have 21. The Bruins with 13. The shots are 32-24 in favor of Hartford. November 8th. Get ready to jam with WB59. Watch the Whalers take on the Red Wings at 7. Get a chance to score tickets in to the premiere of Space Jam, starring Michael Jordan and guess who? Bugs Bunny. right here on Connecticut's WB 59.
Michael Jordan has jammed a few in his career.
And that guy did tonight. Mark
Yes,
Jansen.
he did. Good to see Mark Jansen's get a goal, get him a little bit more interested. I think a solid player. I think he has to play a little bit more physical, but very, very well tonight.
Keith Primo now works it ahead for Andre Nikolation. Knocked down by Tamander, across for Barry Richter. Richter's pass cut off. Good coverage by Primo. 3:33 left to go in regulation time. Here's Donato. Wheeling one in. Bonnie now leaves it for Wesley. Wesley around the boards. Golf step by Nikolation and out. Primo looking for the puck. Good recovery by Tamander. That's a deliberate offside. The face-off should come back. Let's see what they're going to do here.
It's deliberate, but it was a good one because Keith Primo with that reach was gone on a 2-on-1 at least, at the very least. So smart offside taken, and it's not going that. It's going about 5 feet further, I guess.
Well, I thought it would swing back on the deliberate call, but guess again. Portland.
I haven't seen too many guys use their reach like Keith Primo does. Boy, what a great advantage. Having about a wingspan as a 747. Gets to push that puck ahead and move up the ice very nicely.
Gerald Diddick in the neutral zone. Chris one deep. The bouncer handled by Billy Ranford and left for the defense. Steve Stayos starts from his own zone. Goes now out to center ice on the tape of Don Sweeney. Sweeney over the line. Pass knocked down. Play is whistled dead offside at the Hartford blue line.
Another offside for the Boston Bruins, trying to get some momentum, but all three forwards there for the Whalers converged in the middle of the ice, and with smart plays and not an offside, almost would have had a 3-on-2 deeper into the zone. See Robert Cron, we've talked about, missed that breakaway, had 2 chances on that beautiful breakaway. Ranford came up with a spectacular save with the glove hand. Tighten up the defense in the last 3 minutes.
That's what needs to be done. As Stayos now will bounce one in. Short hop Mazzotti, a tough one here, and they score! Rick Tocchet on the rebound. Puck just short hop Jason Mazzotti, and the lucky bounce goes right on the stick of Rick Tocchet, his second goal, and the Bruins have tied it.
A very tough play. Watch this flip in deep. Now watch the puck bounce so close to Jason Mazzotti that he goes down. The rebound to Rick Tocchet now. You may want to blame Jason Mazzotti for laying that rebound, but where's everybody else? How can you let all these guys into the zone after a dump in from center ice? Stumple's there, Tocchet's there. Nobody covering these guys that are coming in late. Now there's the bounce. It goes out to Tocchet, who beats everybody in and scores a goal.
The play is under review.
Oh, it is.
Referee Jackson is on the horn upstairs.
Now, what did you see there that would be reviewed?
Well, maybe we'll get a chance to see it again as you see the video goal judge. If anyone was in the crease, someone skating through, you might get a chance to look at it. They're looking at it right now as you see the referee on the phone. So hold everything. Looks like the Bruins have tied the game legally with a goal scored with 2:54 left to go in this third period, but possibly there could have been a Boston player skating through the crease. Very intense. Kevin Dineen and Steve Kasper look on.
Well, there was somebody at the top of the screen, but there was also a Whaler defenseman with him. I don't know if that's what they're looking at. Definitely wasn't kicked in or anything like that. Clean play. Rick Tocchet there. This is a good play, though, that the NHL has brought. And I guarantee you the NFL brings it back because they've had so many problems and so many requests to have it back.
Everybody talking about it. The crowd getting a little bit impatient. Jackson still on the phone.
Here's the flip in. Watch the puck bounce. Mazzotti at the top of his crease knocks it out. And you see at the top of your screen.
Yeah. That's Waugh. He was in there, but he might have been pushed in by Adam Burt.
Adam Burt, yeah.
That's a close call because Burt was right there with him, but Waugh was going ahead on his own volition. So this is a very tough decision to make.
They've got that great camera angle from on top, as you can see at the top of our screen. He was right with him. Adam Burt was right with him. A judgment call. And we're going to take a look at that if we get a chance from that upper view camera, as we see right here.
Oh, he's there.
He is definitely in the crease, I believe, before the puck is and before Adam Burt, but it looks like it's on the board. It's 4-4.
It looks like we'll have the draw at center ice. Jackson now will talk it over with Kevin Dineen. And I believe they're going to rule that he was pushed into the crease ever so gently from behind, but I believe this goal will count for Rick Tocchet. You see his second of the night, his 6th of the season. It comes at 17:06. And Paul Maurice now will have to see his troops dig down for a little extra.
Well, I hope I didn't jinx anybody, but I just said let's tighten this defense up, and there you go with a harmless little dump, and it takes a funny hop and ends up being a goal.
Oh, under 3 minutes left to go in the third period. We are now tied at 4. The Whalers send out Castles, Dineen, and Sanderson. They look for the puck. It's advanced out for Tocchet. Castles on it. Here's Dineen over the line, cranking one, but blocked on the way through by Don Sweeney. Dineen gets to it. Slapping one all the way around the boards. Wesley there for the Whalers. Down low for Dineen. Dineen trying to win the battle from Stels. Puck is loose. Castles looking in front for Sanderson. He centers it in front. Covered up by Jean-Yves Waugh. Out to center come the Bruins. Waugh hits the line, holding that puck, pulling up, shooting. Mazzotti with a kick save. Puck loose. Sweeney is there, absorbed by Dineen, and Dineen right on the tape of Andrew Castles. Puck loose at center ice. Wristed ahead by Sanderson. Fresh legs over the boards for Paul Maurice. Rice after it. Here's Steve Stales. Stales in the neutral zone with 18 minutes history in this third period. Knotted at 4. Coffey and Moger down low. Moger centers in front. Finding the store, Ranheim and Kapanen. Who has the puck? Sammy Kapanen with speed. Ranheim busts for the net. Shot right on the rebound there. Oh, and Ranford robs Ranheim. Ranheim after it. Diddick moves up. Diddick holding that puck. Here's right center in front. Nobody home. Back the other way come the Bruins. Sloppy pass out of the zone. The Whalers cover up. Here's Kapanen banking ahead for Rice. Moger back defensively. 90 seconds left to go in regulation time. Tied at 4. Primo wedges one in. Ranford not out. Held in for the moment by Nicoletian. Nicoletian working hard along the boards. Knocked down by Tamander. They fight for it. DeMaio takes a seat. Primo has the puck. He has Cron in front. Primo checked up against the end wall by Richter. Cron moves in. He's checked by Barry Richter. They continue to work for it. Moger is back. Wedged up against the wall by Cron. Nicoletian there for the Whalers. They scrum for it. Andre Nicoletian looks to dig it out. He has Wesley holding, shooting, blocking the way through. The puck loose. Cron is there. He wedges on goal. Could not get much on the shot, and it's covered up by Bill Ranford.
Well, excellent play by Richter, the defenseman for the Boston Bruins, holding up Cron there. Cron had a great opportunity. Some good, again, end-to-end action, both ends of the rink. But Billy Ranford with a spectacular save on the rebound here. Look at that glove hand. It's a free ball up in the air. Ranheim with an excellent shot and an excellent chance for a goal, but again, Ranford, he's got a good glove hand, and we see Diddick holding on, going back behind the net, and Rice is going to fire it out in front. But Ranford quick with the glove hand, making the good save. Sammy Kapanen with the long shot, and watch the rebound. Ranheim gets him. Whoa, top shelf he's going, and Ranheim is robbed by Ranford. The Ran. Duran ran.
Paul Ranheim scored tonight. And Bill Ranford, who has stopped all but 4. 35 shots taken by the Whalers, 27 for the Bruins. Face-off won by Adam Oates. Stales, who picks up the only assist on the goal by Tocchet at 17:06, which is tied things. Here's Don Sweeney in the neutral zone. Dineen down and out, tries to just send it deep in the zone. It's kicked ahead by Oates. Down low, Ranford wanders out to play it. Oates now will flip out to center ice. 36 seconds left to go in the third period. Oates quickly over the line. Donato loading it up. Mazzotti ready for it. Oates for the rebound. Pushes it in. And Jason Mazzotti covers it up.
Defensive coverage by the Whalers. A couple of shots on net, but everybody had their men. Adam Oates is awful dangerous when he gets a chance with the puck. Now watch him. He throws it up the boards. Goes to the net. Donato fires it. Good save by Mazzotti, but watch the rebounds. Everybody, Diddick there's got Oates. Everybody is a man. No harm. Good long shot. Adam Oates gives it off. Donato with a long shot, a little bit of a screen. From that far out, Mazzotti can pick it up. Diddick, fine play on Oates, wrapping up his stick.
Scoring chances in the period. The Whalers with 7 thus far. The Bruins with 5. 27.6 seconds left to go in the third period, tied at 4. Oates will cross sticks with Keith Primo. See a good look, the face-off in the Hartford zone. Linesman Bob Hodges, veteran official, does not like the positioning of Keith Primo, so he's given the boot. Nicoletian is a center. And he, of course, playing the wing on this line, but it's good to have him out there because he's equally good on faceoffs.
Important time faceoff with 27 seconds left.
Oates wins it back. The shot taken, blocked on the way through. Andre Nicolishin is there. Primo back out to center ice. 20 clicks left to go in regulation time. The Whalers could go to OT for the second consecutive night. All right, the Islanders 2-2 at the Mall in Hartford last night. Commander at the line. Hard one off the boards, knocked down by Burt. Whalers get it, but are offside at the Boston line, which is 7 seconds left to go.
Well, the important draw was won by Adam Oates, but everybody throwing their body. Primo coming in off the wing, trying to block it. Nicolishin and Oates tying each other up at the dot. I think that's who it hit. It's very, very important late in the game to win those faceoffs. Everybody has to know what happens when you lose it. You see Keith Primo again against Adam Oates. And they are awful particular now with the new rules on faceoffs. You have to have the right alignment, and no cheating is allowed.
See the time left in the period. It'll wind down, and we will go to overtime. So Rick Tocchet, his goal at 17:06 will force 5 minutes maybe of extra time.
Well, both goals were very interesting, very harmless plays. Coffey, unassisted goal, threw it on net and doing what a defenseman should do, and ends up going in the net off Sweeney's skate, and then later on a dump in ends up being a goal by Rick Tocchet to tie the game. So in the third period, 2 harmless plays end up being 2 goals, and sometimes simple things work, and both teams had plenty of opportunities, wide open again, period. Good end-to-end action. It's funny how 2 shots like that end up being 2 goals.
Shots were darn close in the period. The Whalers had 11, Boston with 10. And you take a look at the beleaguered troops as they have to dig down now, and they had this game. And Tocchet's goal now has given the Bruins life. We'll see it one more time, Billy.
The short hop, shortstops and second baseman hate that play.
All right.
As Mazzotti does, it goes out, but I'm just disappointed in the fact that Rick Tocchet was all alone at a dump in from center ice off a face-off in the neutral zone. There's no way 2 guys should be all alone in front of the net on a play like that. And that is, again, laziness on the Whalers' part, not recognizing the dump in. Again, I talked in the first period about the situation when anything's thrown in, no matter when it is, you have to fight to get back and get in position. Tocchet fought his way through and got the rebound.
So Kevin Dineen and the Hartford Whalers, who tied the New York Islanders at 2 at home last night, go to the overtime against the Boston Bruins. And we'll get ready for 5 minutes of sudden victory. This is where every shift becomes important, and the guys who have it going get the ice time.
So many times in the real playoffs in overtime, we see goals scored very, very early, and it's amazing, really, to me, as we see the overtime records. Hartford Whalers 1 tie, and Boston Bruins with a win and a tie. Head-to-head, a little bit different. 7 wins for the Bruins, 7 ties also, only 3 losses. So they have the upper hand on that, as they have had during their games through the years. It's amazing how many games are actually won in 5 minutes of hockey. You play 60 minutes and you come to this overtime that was instituted back in the 80s, and plenty of victories, which you really wouldn't think would happen. You think everybody would play stronger defensively to get that point.
Well, they used to have a guy in Boston, Bob Sweeney, who's 3rd on the all-time list, actually tied for 2nd on the all-time list with Steve Thomas behind Mario Lemieux. Lemieux leads all players all-time with overtime goals with 9. Thomas of New Jersey has 8, and Bob Sweeney, no longer in the league, 8. Here's Glenn Wesley scooping ahead.
That's unbelievable.
Steos now will knock it deep in the zone. Adam Burt back to get it. Burt off the boards. Bruins sees it. Look out. Walking with it. They feed it in front, right on goal. Steve Hines, as he tried to get it in front, looking for Oates. An excellent scoring chance for the Bruins.
Very dangerous play as we watch the puck stay along the boards. Hines gets it. We have 3 Whalers trapped. He holds on to it. Wesley goes down, and the pass was deflected by Wesley, holding his stick as far as he could, and Mazzotti jumps on it, but a good play by Hines. He put the brakes on, tried to cut back in to get in better position to shoot it, and Wesley just deflected the puck to Mazzotti, who freezes it up, and let's be a little bit tighter along those boards. Concentration, win the battles.
Stumple crossing sticks with Castles. Face-off game by the Whalers. The extra center out. Janssens has the puck. Janssens back to the stripe to Mander. Ahead for Jean-Yves Watt. Watt center ice for Stumple. Stumple's speed goes back in the Hartford end. With it, Gerald Diddick. Diddick for Castles. In the neutral zone for Dineen. Dineen now coyly with that puck. Hits the line. Here's Sanderson loading it up. Blocked by Richter, and it jumps into the Boston bench.
Lucky it did jump into the bench. Could have been a breakaway or close to it. For Joseph Stumple. Again, a situation at the blue lines, you have to make sure, especially in overtime, late in the game, when you get a pass, you got to throw it deep along the boards and let your players battle for it with some good forecheck. You fire it and hit somebody and goes the other way. It may be a long way to go for Joseph Stumple from the blue line, but it's also a dangerous play. Puck has to go deep.
Off the faceoff. Stumple gets it back for Sweeney, across for Steve Stales. Out to center, Tocchet. Right back in Hartford ice. Body out to play it up the boards for Castles. Tocchet there for the Bruins. Castles lead feed for Kevin Dineen. Dineen now over the line. Two Bruins converge in the slot. Broken up, cleaned up by Stales. Back out for Stumple. Over the line, Waugh. Chopped at by Wesley. It rolls into Jason Mazzotti. He'll cover up.
A good play again by Wesley and Burt there. 1-on-2. Waugh trying to fix his way through. But they held him up, tied him up. Mazzotti got the puck.
Upcoming home games for the Whalers. We'll take a peek at it right here. The situation sees Los Angeles come in Saturday night at 7. We'll have that game for you on Sports Channel. Boston on the 6th, Detroit on the 8th, Buffalo on the 9th. All games at 7 p.m. Tickets available at the Hartford Civic Center box office, all Ticketmaster locations, or by calling 1-800-WHALERS. Off the draw now. They wheel it around and out all the way back into the Boston zone. Tamander back to get it. 3:33 left to go in overtime. Tied at 4. Out through center ice. Here's Ellick busting down the wing. Wesley watching him in front. Oh, it's just chipped wide. Good back checking by Primo. Sandy Moger all alone in front.
Very dangerous play. Again, Primo, we watched him earlier on a replay, coming back and lifting the stick of Moger. Well, Primo fights back, and Moger's got to step on him, but he hustles and gets back as we watch the play. Ellick down the left side. Throws it in front. And again, a great play by Primo. I don't know if the puck hit Primo or Moger, but Ellick here, Wesley's got him. He throws it in front. It is deflected by Moger, but he is hampered because Big Keith Primo's on his back. Another angle, Mazzotti's angle. He stacks the pads right to left. I don't think the puck would have went in even if Moger got it on net, but great play by Primo coming back hard.
Face off, as we see, just outside the line. Stales will send it in. Around the boards it goes. The top of our screen, you see the time left in OT. Ellick knocked down, puck loose, cleaned up by Coffey. Rob DeMaio whips it across for Stales. Holding, shooting, blocked by Paul Ranheim. Another block. Ranheim ahead for Paul Coffey. Through center, it goes over the top of Sammy Kapanen. All the way back in the zone. Sweeney back to touch up. We might start calling Paul Ranheim the eraser.
I was going to say he's like a catcher in baseball. He's going to get the ice bags on his legs and his arms because they're open. But great play. Boy, he goes right at the guy and he forces the guy. You know, you're a defensive at the point. You got to get that puck deep. You got to put it on the boards, but they're throwing it right at his shin pads. And one of these times he's going to be gone with a puck on a breakaway.
November 8th, get ready to jam with WB59. Watch the Whalers take on Brendan Shanahan and the Detroit Red Wings. Friday, November 8th at 7 o'clock right here on Connecticut's 59.
Again, any draw deep in your zone in overtime is very important. Castles and Oates. Oates is out there all the time.
Oates drawing with Castles. You have to love this. Every face-off is so important at this stage in overtime, and it's a little war within a big one. Burt behind the net. Chipped away by Dineen. Foot race will ensue. Barry Richter gets there. Along the boards now, Tamander. Tamander sends it back for Richter with 2:45 left to go, and sudden victory overtime. In the zone now, it's Tamander. Tamander out to center ice, watched by Dineen. Gets away from Dineen momentarily. Fights with it. Sanderson has the puck, but over-skated. Dineen might have gotten away with one there on Tamander.
A little one there.
Just a slight one. Bouncing puck. Trouble brewing here. Bird after it. Bruins on it with Donato. Donato tries to scale in front. Broken up. The Whalers assert out to center ice. You're looking at Kevin Dineen. Sanderson pounces on it. They crisscross. Sanderson over the line. Trying to walk through. Sanderson now comes to the boards with it. Holding. He goes down. Puck is loose. Jackson put the whistle away, and the puck comes all the way back in Hartford ice.
Sandy again at the blue line. You got to make sure he's cutting back against the grain, and it falls down. Luckily, the puck didn't go the other way.
In the zone, Sweeney, pressure from Cron. Don Sweeney asserts. Sweeney hits the line, hands off for Tocchet. The shot, gloved. It would have been wide, but Mazzotti loved it anyway.
Nothing wrong with gloving a puck, even though it's wide, because the goalie's not sure at all times. Rick Tocchet, the hot hand tonight with 2 goals. The drop pass, and he's going to wind it up from a bad angle. And you see that puck is definitely going wide, but Jason Mazzotti grabbing on. And again, a big face-off down low. Stumple against Primo. Not as much cheating. Big guys used to have the upper hand on face-offs because they could get right over that dot. But with this new lineup, it's much more difficult.
Primo wins that one. Now the Whalers have a slight edge, 36-35 in face-offs.
Close, 50-50.
In the zone now, it's Sweeney. Out through center ice. Didick is there, back in the zone. Look out, Tocchet for the hat trick. Can't get control of the puck. Luckily for the Whalers. Primo back the other way. Under 90 seconds left to go in overtime. Primo over the line. In front for Cron. Behind the net. Cron with Nicolishin in front. Oh, and Ranford shuts the door on Andre Nicolishin. Nicolishin now along the end wall. It's dug out. The Whalers trying to feast on this Boston defense. They wheel it out to the Bruins, and here they come. Rick Tocchet hits the line, holding that puck, centering in front. Burt watching Law in front. Primo for Nicolishin, pressured by Stayos. Andre tough on the puck over the line. Here's Glenn Wesley off the boards. Less than a minute to go. He tries to scale it in front. Richter gets there. The Whalers knock it down. Andre Nicolishin with it. The screen shot ran for the stop. Rice behind the net tries to center. He does. Kapanen knocked down. Play continues. 45 seconds left in overtime as they work it out to center ice. Didick has the puck. Didick now will get it deep in the zone. Commander back for the Bruins. Pressured, hit hard by Rice. Kapanen tries to sneak in. Here's Commander. Commander out to center off for Robbie DeMille. Watched by Ranheim and really given a rough ride. Good play by Paul Ranheim. Behind the net now it's Ellick. Ellick working hard. Hog-tied by Coffey. Here's DeMille. DeMille chips it in front. Nobody home. 19 seconds left to go. A final push for the Whalers. Ranheim this way for Kapanen. Long scaler just wide of Ranford. Ranheim has the rebound. Ranheim looking for Kevin Dineen. Dineen on it. Holding that puck now up top. Trying to move it in is Adam Burt. DeMille gets to it. Out to the center ice zone. One last chance. Here's Castles. 1 second left to go. Castles from dead center for Dineen. It's over. 1 point for each club. A standoff here in Boston.
Wow, what an exciting last 2 minutes. Rick Tocchet had a spectacular chance, scored an overtime goal in Vancouver for a big win for the Boston Bruins. And at the other end, Nicolishin and Cron again setting up each other. Some good passing plays back and forth. Great action in the last 2 minutes. Was not like overtime. Nothing tight about that. Somebody wanted to win this game big time.
Wild game tonight, and a good one for us on WB 59. The final score, the Hartford Whalers 4, the Boston Bruins 4. Back to the Fleet Center right after this on Connecticut's WB 59.